Chapter 71. While the Zhang family and the Wang family were enjoying the lion dance in Zhuangzi, the county town of Sanshui County was livelier. Chen Yong, the military attaché, was still having a headache when he was awakened by the noise outside. He was invited by County Magistrate Cheng to join in the fun. When they came out, the streets were already crowded with people. Countless lanterns lit up the county town like it was daytime. County Magistrate Cheng divided the 200,000 sounds of firecrackers into several portions and set them off once in a while, making the county town even noisier. There were also several lion dance groups and various acrobats, causing exclamations from time to time. Chen Yong and the others didn't want to participate in the fun at all. Listening to the various sounds, they only felt a splitting headache, but they had to grit their teeth and persevere. When the cold wind blew, their stomachs convulsed and they retched a few times. Their noses and eyes were uncomfortable. "Sir, look, isn't this auspicious place more lively than usual?" County Magistrate Cheng looked at these people and knew that they were forcing themselves to persevere. Even so, they didn't plan to let them go and asked at the side to consume their energy. Chen Yong forced a smile on his face and said, "County Magistrate Cheng is right. The people are so happy because of the emperor." "Oh, County Magistrate Cheng, you've done a lot." "Sir Chen, you flatter me. It's my duty to govern the county and make the people live a good life. Come, set off another 50,000 sounds of firecrackers." County Magistrate Cheng said modestly and called someone to set off the firecrackers. The crackling sounds rang in everyone's ears. Those who drank too much felt that they were about to vomit. At the critical moment, someone handed over a cucumber. Everyone hurriedly took a bite and finally felt comfortable. But before they could calm down, someone else presented wine. County Magistrate Cheng picked up a bowl and bowed in the direction of the capital city. He said, "My lords, the people are so happy today because of His Majesty's great kindness. I would like to propose a toast to His Majesty." As soon as his voice fell, he was the first to finish the bowl. When the others saw this, they didn't want to drink, but they didn't dare. They could only raise their heads and drink. After this bowl of wine entered their stomachs, they all gritted their teeth and didn't let the food in their stomachs come out. This wine was for the emperor. What did it mean to vomit? Someone served a cucumber and dipped it in some chili sauce. It made them feel better after eating it. County Magistrate Cheng waited for everyone to calm down before raising his bowl again. "My lords, today is the full moon. I wish the people of my dynasty a happy family reunion." He drank it. Chen Yong and the rest hated him to death. They took 2 deep breaths and raised their heads again to drink the wine. They resisted the urge to vomit and looked at County Magistrate Cheng, afraid that he would pick up the wine again. Fortunately, County Magistrate Cheng did not pick up the wine this time. Instead, he began to chat with the crowd. After chatting for a quarter of an hour, just as Chen Yong was about to suggest that they go in, a few people came out from the happy crowd. Some were holding bowls, while others were holding wine jars. When they came closer, an old man with white hair and beard walked out. He ordered people to pour the wine and held a bowl in front of the crowd. "I am an ordinary person in Sanshui County. Everyone says that it is thanks to all of you that this place is stable. I, on behalf of the people of Sanshui County, propose a toast to all of you." After he finished speaking, he drank the wine. County Magistrate Cheng took a bowl of wine and drank it without thinking. When the others saw this, they knew that County Magistrate Cheng knew this person. The wine was not poisonous. Otherwise, County Magistrate Cheng would definitely not drink it. Since it was a toast from the people, they should drink it. Therefore, at this time, 3 bowls of wine were poured into their stomachs. Seeing that it was about time, County Magistrate Cheng let them go. He suggested that they return to the yamen to enjoy the moon or rest. The group of people turned around as if they had been granted amnesty. When they returned to the yamen, they all declined County Magistrate Cheng's invitation to drink and enjoy the moon. They went back to their rooms and fell asleep. The people in the yamen followed County Magistrate Cheng's instructions and lit a lot of incense in each person's room. The doors and windows were tightly shut. These people who had drunk too much were not sleeping well. Their stomachs were churning. When the incense was lit, it did not take long for them to start vomiting. Once they started vomiting, they could not control it. Someone helped them drink water. After drinking, they vomited again. Even after they had vomited everything in their stomachs, they were still vomiting. County Magistrate Cheng was not feeling well either. When he returned, he also vomited everything. However, after vomiting, he did not lie down immediately. He had someone boil a bucket of hot water and soak in it. Someone even rubbed his head. He drank the hot soup mouthful by mouthful. After sweating and urinating a few times, he finally felt better. Only then did he fall asleep while others massaged his back and legs. From time to time, someone would wipe his face with a warm towel. On the 16th day of the first month, County Magistrate Cheng woke up in the morning. He shook his head but did not feel a headache. He drank some millet porridge, ate some cucumber pickles, and 2 meat buns. Knowing that Chen Yong and the others were still unconscious, he went back to sleep for an hour. At noon, he ordered someone to prepare the carriage and personally went to wake them up one by one. After a night of hangover and starvation, these people from the provincial center felt as if their heads were about to split open when they opened their eyes. They wiped their faces with hot towels and followed County Magistrate Cheng to the Waterview Pavilion in a daze. After getting off the carriage and seeing this place, they knew that it was time to eat. Originally, they did not want to eat, but they could not resist the hunger. They also knew that the more they did not eat, the more uncomfortable they would feel. As they waited for the dishes to be served, they realized that today they were eating a chicken banquet. All 16 dishes were chicken cooked in various ways. County Magistrate Cheng urged them to drink again. He had recovered. This time, they ate less. Originally, they did not want to drink anymore. However, they could not resist the situation and drank bit by bit. When they ate the chicken, they realized that it was sweet and greasy. They still hadn't recovered from yesterday's drunkenness. A few of them drank more as they drank. They ate the dishes and drank the wine. They even looked at the others and offered a toast to those who drank less. The meal lasted for nearly 4 hours. Other than the people in the yamen who were accompanying them, everyone else collapsed. County Magistrate Cheng did not send them to the yamen. Instead, he put them on the carriage and drove them to the real Luoshui River. The ice there had almost melted and a boat had been prepared. Sitting in the carriage and bumping, these people continued to vomit. After tossing and turning like this until midnight, they finally reached the river. One by one, they were dragged onto the boat and the night passed. Song Jinggong also followed them. He memorized the poem that the young master had written for him and prepared to start another round of hospitality tomorrow. On the 20th of the first lunar month, the spring thunder roared and the first spring rain fell. It's been 5 days. It seems that County Magistrate Cheng has delayed those people. In a few days, they should leave, right? Wang Wan listened to the sound of rain hitting the window and said in a relaxed manner, "Almost. Didn't the news say that the people there are drunk every day? Song Jinggong should be famous now." "That's good. In the future, when he has a reputation, it will be easier to do things." "The rain outside is not heavy. Maybe there will be a drought here. When it stops, we should go out and see if there is a suitable place to dig holes in Zhuangzi and store more water. This year, the east of Taihang Mountains and Hunan are full of locusts and drought. It will be troublesome if we are like that." Zhang Xiaobao was still worried. That was what was written in the history books. But who could guarantee that the people who wrote it really wrote it out? The real situation could only be known by experiencing it for oneself. Well, even if it is not a drought, we can keep some water to store things. I have a map here. I drew it according to what they said. I don't know if it is accurate or not. When the weather is warm, you can walk around Zhuangzi with me. I am good at drawing. Come and take a look." Wang Wan said and took out her map. She had drawn it for the purpose of inserting a torch. She looked at it and pointed at a place. "Here it is. My house is not far from the river. We can dig a ditch and draw it there. Let's take advantage of the melting snow." Zhang Xiaobao looked at the side and nodded. It was settled. As for whether it was suitable, he had to go there personally to see it. On the 25th of the first lunar month, the weather was clear and the spring breeze was gentle. The district magistrate, Chang Lingxiang, was still waving his hand at the group that was moving away. He only put down his hand when they were out of sight. He heaved a sigh of relief and turned around to look at the people in the yamen. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. His body swayed and he almost fell. He had finally completed his task. He had dragged the people here until they left. It had been 10 days. These 10 days felt like 10 months. Every day, he had to arrange new things, eat, drink, and play. Only the district magistrate was left in the yamen to deal with the government affairs. During this period, military attaché Chen Yong and the rest had mentioned several times that they wanted to go to Zhuangzi to take a look at the auspicious sign. He had thought of ways to delay them. In the end, they drank too much and forgot about it. The only person that he did not expect was the registrar, Zhao Xiang. At first, he was worried that Zhao Xiang would do his job impartially and bring people to Zhuangzi. He did not expect that when he drank too much on the 6th day and could not get up, Zhao Xiang would help him entertain people. Zhao Xiang had a high tolerance for alcohol. He drank all the alcohol and acted like nothing had happened. He had never heard that Zhao Xiang could drink, nor had he ever seen him drink. Ji Feng, it's all thanks to you this time. Otherwise, they would have gone there. I really want to know why you helped me. County Magistrate Cheng felt weak all over, but he still forced himself to ask the registrar, Zhao Xiang. When Zhao Xiang heard the district magistrate call him by his courtesy name, he frowned uncomfortably. However, he did not say anything about his name. He said, "Sir, I also want to eat cucumber." After saying this, he did not say anything else. He turned around and walked back first. The others were stunned. This Zhao Xiang, who had always been rigid, actually knew how to joke today. The crowd also walked back. Zhao Xiang walked in front, but he knew in his heart why he did not expose the Zhuangzi. He had a younger daughter and 2 sons. His younger daughter was 5 years old and had a weak body. When she was born, they ate poorly, which caused her to fall ill. He always wanted her to eat more, but his daughter was very picky. In winter, there was nothing to eat. However, after eating the cucumber, his younger daughter ate half a bowl more than usual every meal. This made him feel grateful to the Zhongjia Zhuangzi. Of course, this was not the only reason. The most important reason was that he thought that if that place leaked the recipe and no new things were produced in the future, it would be a great loss to Sanshui County. These days, that place had produced a lot of things. Since that was the case, he wanted to help. Chapter 72. On both sides of the river, new buds sprouted, and flowers bloomed on a small path. The ice and snow slowly disappeared, and the spring breeze gently brushed across the cheeks. The floating clouds flipped, and the sun shone high. The running water set off the cliffs several times. Yesterday, it rained. Tomorrow, it was busy. After 2 consecutive rains, the people of Tuqiao village finally breathed a sigh of relief. From the end of the year until now, if it wasn't for the rain last night, there wouldn't have been enough water before the spring plowing. In the Zhang family's courtyard, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan looked at the villagers outside who were busy preparing for the spring plowing. They looked at each other and nodded at the same time. Drought. It looks like there will be a drought this year. Fortunately, we dug a pond 2 days ago, so we can hold on for a while. Should the chickens, ducks, and geese be sent there now? If we really go there, we will have to eat a lot of food along the way. Wang Wan held half a steamed bun in her hand and said to Zhang Xiaobao worriedly. Zhang Xiaobao held a bowl of milk and took a sip unhurriedly. He then said, "There's no rush. Wait for it to get bigger. It's just a drought, and the grasshoppers haven't come out yet. Even if we want to go, we can't let our 2 Zhuangzi take the lead. Let's go to Sanshui City first to find County Magistrate Cheng. This is also a merit, and we can also inquire about the matter of the investigation of the fields." That's good. The plows were sent the day before yesterday. Pomegranate, arrange for people to send them to our 2 villagers. Also, Arrange for the cows and horses that were collected. Do it like last year's autumn harvest. Wang Wan responded to Zhang Xiaobao and turned to give orders to Pomegranate. Pomegranate responded and turned to leave. She naturally knew what the two young masters were talking about last year's autumn harvest. The two Zhuangzi villagers didn't harvest their own fields separately, but worked together to harvest all the fields of the two villages at the same time. This was the spring plowing. In addition to this, the servants in the two villages also had to help. Usually, it was the men who were sent out. He walked to the place where the young master's curved plow was placed. He called out, and two male servants immediately came over. Find a cart to transport the things that young master and young lady Kaiwan made, and send them to the manor with me. As the young master's maidservant, Pomegranate also put on airs. As the two of them prepared the carriage, they curiously looked at the pile of things. It looked like a plow, but they had never seen one before. When the carriage arrived, one of them couldn't help but ask, "Sister Pomegranate, what is this thing? Could it be used for plowing?" "Yes." Pomegranate snorted with her nose and then said, "That is natural." The young master felt that the plowing process was a little slow, so he came up with a new plow that is several times faster than the previous one. In fact, Pomegranate didn't know whether this was true or not. She just had more confidence in the young master and his maidservant. Anything that the young master and his maidservant made was good. The two male servants nodded as well. The position of the young master and young lady Cuckoo in their hearts had already reached a level that others could not compare to. If not for the two manners ordered to keep their mouths shut, they would have already bragged to others. One by one, the plows were carried onto the cart by the two of them. After filling up the cart, they rushed out. Shirley sat on the shaft of the cart, her eyes looking forward. She guessed that this thing that the little Gongzi had named curved plows would be very useful. The male servant driving the cart turned his head and asked, "Sister Pomegranate, did the young master pay for this plow?" "Of course." Pomegranate replied with 2 words. "I think so too." Speaking of which, ever since the young master and Miss Cuckoo learned how to talk, the villagers' lives have been much better than other places. Perhaps there hasn't been such a master in the entire Tang Empire. Speaking of this, the 2 male servants were proud. The cart traveled on the muddy road. When it reached the fields, both wheels were covered in mud. The villagers were using the old plow to plow the fields. When they saw the cart and Pomegranate sitting on it, the people nearby thought that there was something to do in Zhuangzi. They immediately put down their work and went forward to welcome them. Before the villagers could ask, Pomegranate spoke first. "Fellow villagers, this is a newly made plow in Zhuangzi. Take a look and see if it's better than the one you're using now. Also, Zhuangzi has bought some cows and horses from outside. The master has instructed us to cultivate them together according to last year's autumn harvest." When the villagers heard that the cart had a new plow, they were all curious. In the past few months, every item that the master had brought out had brought them many benefits. This plow seemed to be of good quality. What made them the happiest were the last 2 things that Pomegranate mentioned. With cows and horses and a joint cultivation, it would be much easier. The spring harvest would be ahead of the other families. At that moment, these farmers called out to the other people who were still busy. Everyone rushed over and helped unload the new plow from the cart. Each and every one of them used their hands to gently touch it. In their hearts, they were all deeply moved. The main family had even thought of this. Some impatient people had already put the new plow on the cows. They were not used to the first few steps, but after a few more steps, they couldn't help but cheer. Look at this speed. It's amazing, simply amazing. Using this plow is several times faster than before. Hurry, quickly put it on. Miss Pomegranate, this plow? This is called a curved shaft plow. Fellow villagers, don't worry about using it. There will be more later. The cows and horses will be sent over soon. They are all strong and healthy. When Pomegranate saw that someone had agreed, she was also happy. When everyone saw the speed of the previous person, they could no longer maintain their original steadiness. They began to unload the original plow and put on the new one. Fellow villagers, don't be in a hurry to start. I heard this old man say that this curved shaft plow was given to us by the master of Zhuangzi. Don't let others learn it. An old man who was also farming saw the new plow and loudly shouted to the surrounding people. When the surrounding people heard this, they nodded in agreement. They didn't want the master's good things to be learned by others. With the addition of the curved plow, the cows and horses were also brought along. Everyone began to work together according to the situation of the autumn harvest, regardless of whether it was you or me. In the evening, everyone discovered that this day's harvest was comparable to the previous few days' harvest. Seeing this situation, everyone didn't seem to feel tired at all. One by one, they put away their tools and prepared to go home. At this moment, Pomegranate appeared in front of everyone again and said to everyone, "Fellow villagers, the Zhang family and the Wang family's courtyards have already set up pots to cook. The ground is cold in spring and there is also some wine. Split up in Zhuangzi and go to your respective master's courtyard to eat." When the villagers heard this, they cheered and went to their respective master's courtyard. As the sun set, the people of Guzhuang also returned home after a busy day. The people who were near the river casually glanced at the Zhuangzi courtyard of the Zhang family and Wang family. Suddenly, their eyes widened. Previously, the people of Guzhuang didn't know that the Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi was plowed from the inside to the outside instead of the inside of the river. When night fell, the land was actually plowed to this side. In the past, it was also like this. Usually, it would take at least 3 days before plowing. They didn't expect to see a piece of land that had already been plowed today. The shocked people didn't rush home. They hurriedly ran across the bridge to the Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi to take a closer look. What they saw was amazing. The Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi had actually been plowed in a day that would normally take several days to plow. Driven by curiosity, this person stopped a villager from the Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi. "Brother Choshu, did you all plow in a day? Did you find people from other places?" This villager from the Gu family stopped the person and wanted to ask for clarification. The person who was called Brother Choshu puffed out his chest and smiled. "So it's Brother Sunday. Are you done with your work? Quickly go back and eat. Otherwise, the food will get cold. We are the ones who plow this area. There are many people and we work quickly. We didn't find people from other places. Who has the time? Spring plowing is busy. I'm going to eat now. The master's courtyard has already prepared the food." Once the master's courtyard is mentioned, we don't know what to say. The master's courtyard is afraid that the land will get cold in spring and even prepared wine. "I'll go first. Brother Sun, you continue with your work." As he spoke, Brother Choshu shook off the dirt on his feet and hurried back to the master's courtyard. Seeing him walk away, the villager from the Gu family's courtyard of Zhuangzi still stared in that direction in a daze. Only when a gust of wind carrying the smell of dirt blew by did he shiver. He tightened his clothes and slowly turned around. His head was lowered and his waist was bent. From time to time, he would sigh from his mouth. That night, the news of the Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi's courtyard of Zhuangzi spread throughout the Gu family's courtyard of Zhuangzi. At first, the people from the Gu family didn't believe it. Who would be so nosy? They lit torches in the middle of the night and went to take a look. They waited until they saw it with their own eyes and came back to report it. This caused a huge commotion. Gu Ringshi also heard about this at night. He also didn't believe it and ordered the steward to clarify the matter. The next morning, the villagers woke up again. Gu Ringshi and the steward also ate breakfast and went out. When they came to the side of the small bridge that belonged to their courtyard, they stopped and looked around. After looking, they were shocked. He didn't know where the Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi got so many cows and horses. He still had many people in Zhuangzi to pull the plow. "Master, look. The people from the Wang family's courtyard of Zhuangzi don't seem to be working separately. It's the same as during the autumn harvest. Also, look at the plow over there. Why do I feel that it's different from the ones we usually use?" Gu Zhuang's steward pointed over there and said to Gu Ringshi. Gu Ringshi's eyes weren't as good as the steward's. When he looked over there, he couldn't see what the plow looked like. He was clear about the methods of working together. After thinking for a while, he said to the steward, "In a moment, tell Gu Zhuang to learn from the other side and work together. I'll go and take a look at the plow." The steward accepted the order and left. Gu Ringshi strolled across the small bridge as if he was looking at the scenery. He stared at the plow, wanting to see it more clearly as he got closer. Before he could understand what was going on, a person came over and greeted him from afar. "Village Chief Gu, why are you here today?" Chapter 73. Gu Ringshi heard the voice and looked at the person. He recognized him as the Wang family's housekeeper on Zhuangzi. He smiled and said, "Yes, housekeeper Wang is busy? It's fine. I'm just walking around." He was about to walk closer when Steward Wang took a step to the side and stood in front of Gu Ringshi. He said, "Brother Gu Ringshi. Village head Gu, the fields are muddy during spring plowing. Why don't you walk around the river? The scenery there is much better than here. Besides, the villagers have never seen such a scene before. If you walk over, they will be scared." Gu Ringshi saw this and could only stop. He smiled awkwardly. Seeing that housekeeper Wang wanted to follow him to the river, he hesitated for a moment and followed housekeeper Wang. "Housekeeper Wang, your village on Zhuangzi is much faster than mine. I don't see more people than before. What method did you use on Zhuangzi?" Sigh. It's not easy for the Gu family to be Zhuangzi's villagers. Gu Ringshi asked as he walked. Whenever he spoke, he would sigh. He wanted to find out something. Housekeeper Wang knew what Gu Ringshi wanted to know, but he would never tell him. How could he let outsiders know what the young master and young lady did? He continued Gu Ringshi's words. "It's not just the Wang family's farmstead, the Zhang family's farmstead is also like this. There's no good way, but if there's one, then there's one thing. Treat the farmstead better, and the farmstead will naturally work hard. Just like last night, the master will prepare some food and wine for the farmstead, and that will be enough." Gu Ringshi was a little embarrassed. Housekeeper Wang was clearly saying that he did not treat the villagers well, but he couldn't do anything. The Zhang family and Wang family were rich, but Gu Zhuang couldn't afford to give them. He also admitted that if he treated the villagers better, they would work harder. Especially the land that was not rented out, the master would take care of it. But if that was the case, he would not believe that the villagers could do as much work as usual. Well, the problem must be with the plow. Otherwise, why didn't housekeeper Wang let him take a look over there? Gu Ringshi thought about the plow and looked in that direction as he walked along the river. This time, he finally saw the difference. The plow on Zhuangzi was definitely not as fast as the one on this side. "Steward Wang, is that really all? Is there anything else?" Gu Ringshi couldn't care less if Steward Wang was happy to hear him asking about this matter. Steward Wang smiled and said, "Village head Gu really has sharp eyes. To tell you the truth, there are indeed other differences. Apart from these, there is another thing. Since last summer, the two Zhuangzi people have been buying and exchanging cows and horses. Look, there are no longer any human-drawn plows in Zhuangzi." Gu Ringshi nodded and stopped talking about this matter. He clearly knew that the problem lay with Li. Since he did not want to talk about it, he did not want to continue asking. He wanted to find a chance to clarify this matter. After a few casual words, he turned around and walked back. Steward Wang walked Gu Ringshi to the small bridge. Seeing Gu Ringshi gradually walking away, he heaved a sigh of relief and continued to watch. In the midst of the busy work, 10 days had passed. In these 10 days, the two Zhuangzi families had plowed all the land. The Gu family next to them still had to work for another half a month before they could finish. This kind of speed made the people of the Gu family envious. This made the people of the two Zhuangzi families very confident. Some of the farmers saw that there was still a lot of time left. After some discussion, they found the master and told him that they would first fertilize the land, let it dry for 2 days, and then plow the land again. Since the farmers were willing to work more, the master would of course not stop them. It was just a matter of making more food for the farmers. This winter, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had earned a lot of money. Just a little bit of it would be enough. Pomegranate, dig out the earthworms and change the place. The soil where the earthworms used to be and the rotting things above them, put them into the ground with the manure. Wait a minute, let's not do this first. First, let Xiao Hong chase the chickens into the ground. After turning over the ground, many pupae are exposed. Let the chickens eat them. Zhang Xiaobao instructed Pomegranate, but there was a trace of sadness on his face. After hearing this, Pomegranate left. Wang Wan sighed at the side. It's been so many days. Why is there still no news from Erniu? It's fine if we can't get the rice stone. We can't let anything happen to him. That's right. The communication here is really bad, and the road is not easy to travel. It takes a long time to go there. In the future, we really need to secretly recruit more servants. If someone is far away, we can send them out to follow him. These days, the Guo family's Zhuangzi has been constantly sending people over. They are either preparing to peak or trying to find out from our farmers. While Zhang Xiaobao was worried about Erniu, he was also a little dissatisfied with the Guo family's Zhuangzi. However, he couldn't say anything. Who didn't want to live a good life? However, this kind of technical thing couldn't be casually taken out. Don't worry. The farmers have already told them. No one will say anything. Yesterday, didn't a farmer come back with one tael of silver and say that someone wanted to bribe him? The person who gave him the money was a farmer from the Guo family. There's no need to ask. Other than Gu Yingxi, there's no one else. Wang Wan didn't care. She was very satisfied with the person who came over yesterday. Zhang Xiaobao shook his head. After thinking for a moment, he said, "The secret of this curved plow can't be kept. Let Song Jinggong send one to County Magistrate Cheng. At the same time, send one to Zhou Shihu. Let him find someone to learn how to make it. When the time comes to sell it, we can make a profit first. We have to be fast. Don't wait until the spring plowing is over before selling it." Why? It's fine as long as no one says anything. Don't say anything? How can it be that simple? Our Tuqiao village is called one village, but there are 3 village heads. If Gu Yingxi can't find out by himself, won't he report it to the village head? Won't he report it to the elders in the village? Won't he report it to the county head? When those people hear that there's something that can speed up the spring plowing, won't they come to take a look? A high-ranking official can oppress people to death. It's better to take the initiative and share the benefits one by one. In the future, they will have to return the favor. Last time, the people who came to check the auspicious signs were held back. This is society. They are constantly exchanging benefits with others. Zhang Xiaobao thought clearly. That Gu Yingxi's brain was not very good. If it were him, he would have done it long ago. Wang Wan was a little helpless, but she also knew that without the ability to set up a game, she had to follow the rules of the game. Well, this year, we plowed the fields twice, and there are so many good fertilizers. No matter what, the yield can be increased. A part of it is rice, a part of it is wheat, and a part of it is millet. How do we plant the rice? Throw the seedlings or transplant them? Throw the seedlings. It's just a matter of natural selection. Let's get some fish seedlings and raise them. There are so many fields. Fish are not valuable here, but we can still earn more. Even if we don't sell them, we can still make salted fish for the farmers. The only thing I am worried about is that once we throw the seedlings, the higher-ups will come and check. They will think that the yield is low and force us to change it. In this era of power, where can we go? We will have to trouble County Magistrate Cheng. Zhang Xiaobao lay down on the Kong bed and looked up at the ceiling as he slowly explained. After the two of them discussed for a while, they finally decided on this matter. They found Song Jinggong and told him about this matter. Song Jinggong also agreed to do this. He hurriedly went out and brought 2 sets of curved shaft plows. County Magistrate Cheng and Zhou Shihu would send 1 set each. Zhou Shihu's side was considered a partnership, so he could get some money. Hurry up. We will be there soon. When we reach, Everyone will get an extra 20 coins. Less than 4 hours after Song Jinggong left, a group of large carts came from afar. The carts were loaded with stones. The people sitting on the first cart kept shouting at the carts behind. The carts were actually worried about the horses. If they were to rush like this, they would get tired easily and would not be able to work for a few days. But when they heard this person called Erniu say that they would get an extra 20 coins, all of them did not care about the horses. If they were tired, they would rest for a few days. They might not be able to earn 20 coins in those few days. Furthermore, they were given a lot of money in the beginning. The shouts and whips were mixed together, and the group moved faster. Erniu left Zhuangzi on the 6th day of the new year. After so many days, he was a little nervous. He kept drinking water to calm his breathing. When he passed by a few Zhuangzi, he knew that the spring plowing had begun. He just did not know how things were going on Zhuangzi. When the group arrived at Zhuangzi, Erniu was a little surprised by the speed of the plowing. Gu family's Zhuangzi was fast this year. They were actually imitating his family's Zhuangzi during last year's autumn harvest. Everyone was working together. Wu family's Xiao San, it looks like you are doing well this year. When autumn comes, there will definitely be a good harvest. I didn't expect you to plow so much land in just a few days. When Erniu passed by a field, he shouted at the people working there. Wu Xiaosan was pulling the plow. When he heard the voice, he looked over. When he saw that it was Erniu, he thought that he did it on purpose. Later, he saw that Erniu seemed to have come back from outside. Only then did he understand that Erniu did not know about his work on Zhuangzi. He straightened his back and shouted at Erniu. Erniu, stop talking. Why are you so fast? Go back to your Zhuangzi and have a look. Yesterday, all the land was plowed. Looking at the situation, we might have to plow again with manure. There is no comparison. There is no comparison. Xiao-san, really? You are not lying to me? When Erniu heard this, he was happy and asked again. Wu Xiao-san still had to work. Gu Zhuang did not have so many cows and horses for them to use. He nodded as a confirmation and bent down to continue plowing forward. At this time, Erniu wished that he could grow wings and fly back. He urged them again. When the motorcade arrived at the small bridge, he stood on the carriage and looked over there. Wasn't that right? The fields had been plowed, and there were many chickens pecking at things in the fields. This must be the young master's idea. Good, the insects in the field are finished. Erniu said to the people who went out with him. The two people nodded in agreement and were happy. If they really plowed again with manure, they could forget about the autumn harvest. As soon as the caravan crossed the small bridge, Erniu could not help but shout, I am back. Quickly find someone to help move the stones. This is the last day of the week for this book. A new week is coming. This book will continue to be on the list. Tomorrow, it will be 2 chapters. If it is not on the list, it will be 8 chapters. If it is on the list, it will be 14 chapters on the 25th. Chapter 74. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were the happiest about Erniu's return. When they heard the announcement coming from outside, they ran out hand in hand. When they reached the gate of the outermost courtyard, Erniu was surrounded by people. The curious villagers kept asking Erniu where the 3 of them went. What was so strange about them? When Erniu left, other than a few people in Zhuangzi, no one else knew. Erniu, who was anxious to see the little lord, didn't say anything. He walked faster and faster until he reached the gate of the main house. When he saw the little lord and cuckoo coming out to greet him, he shouted again, Little lord, I'm back. It's good that you're back. Don't say anything. Come in and rest. Zhang Xiaowu and Zhang Xiaolu, don't stand outside. Get someone to help unload the things in the carriage. Just pile them up at the gate. Zhang Xiaobao saw that Erniu was so excited that he couldn't control his mouth. He was afraid that he would say something, so he quickly interrupted him and called him and the other 2 people to the courtyard. When the villagers saw that they had gone in, they did not disturb them. They turned around and helped to unload the stones from the cart. As they unloaded, they pondered. It seemed that Ere Nyo had been arranged by the master to do something. Why did he come back with so many stones? These stones didn't look good. They couldn't be used to build a house. Erniu didn't feel tired now. He stood in front of Zhang Xiaobao and asked excitedly, "Little Lord, did you see that? I brought back the stones you wanted. Those are all stones. Little Lord, what do you want those stones for?" Good job. Erniu, did you tell anyone about this? Zhang Xiaobao had seen the stone just now, and it was indeed a wheat rice stone. He was finally relieved. This year's production should be able to increase by a lot. He was also worried that this matter would be accidentally leaked by Ere Nyo and the other two, so he asked while looking at the other two. Ere Nyo shook his head and took the water handed over by Shilu. He raised his head and drank the water in the bowl. He wiped his mouth with his sleeve and replied, "Young master, don't worry. No one knows what the three of us want the stone for. We changed carriages several times along the way. The last carriage driver definitely doesn't know where the stone came from. Also, little Lord, we spent all the money this time, but we didn't spend any money on the stones. We can just pick the stones and save a lot. Little Lord, you and Cuckoo don't worry. We all know that little Lord is going to use the stones for something big. We won't say anything, even if we die." As Ere Nyo spoke, Zhang Xiaowu and Zhang Xiaolu also nodded at the side. They felt that it was an honor to be able to keep a secret for the young master. Good. You haven't eaten yet, right? The cucumber seedlings have been plucked. There are only a few cucumbers left. They will go bad tomorrow or the day after. It's time to eat. You will know the use of the stones in the future. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the three people's travel-worn appearance and sighed in his heart. They were all useful people. He quickly arranged for them to eat. When the three of them heard that there were still cucumbers to eat, their eyes lit up. There was nothing that made them miss more than the cucumbers from the farmstead in winter. Even though it was spring now, there were still not many vegetables to be had. On the contrary, the vegetables for the winter were almost finished. Seeing that there were cucumbers to eat, Erniu suddenly thought of something. He reached into his chest and took out a paper bag. It was the size of a medium-sized bowl. He bent down and handed the paper bag to Zhang Xiaobao. He slowly opened the bag and revealed some gray things. "Little Lord, I bought this wood ear over there. Coincidentally, a family was preparing to dry it outside and I saw it. I exchanged it with the salted cucumbers you brought for us to eat on the road. 3 jars of salted cucumbers were exchanged for this little bit. After soaking it in water, there will be more." As Erniu spoke, he licked his lips with his tongue. It was unknown whether it was because he was craving for the wood ear or because he didn't get to eat the salted cucumber. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan looked at the wood ear in Erniu's hand and were stunned. He actually needed 3 jars of salted cucumbers to exchange for this little bit of wood ear? The salted cucumber was green and not brown. It was made last autumn. As the two of them couldn't eat much food in the beginning, they didn't have many requirements for food. Now that they thought about it, they really hadn't eaten wood ear before. Using the wood ear to make a little braising sauce and putting some diced meat in it would make for a good tofu pudding. Erniu, were you cheated? 3 jars of salted cucumbers in exchange for this little bit of food. You didn't eat it yourselves? All of them exchanged. The first thought that came to Wang Wan's mind was that the usually clever Erniu had also been cheated, so she asked. Erniu, Zhang Xiaobao, and Pomegranate all stared blankly at Wang Wan. After a while, Erniu said, "Little girl, if you and little young master were to exchange, of course, it would be cheaper. But the three of us really don't have that ability. Fortunately, there aren't such green cucumbers in the current season. Otherwise, not to mention 3 jars, even if there were 30 jars, they wouldn't exchange." Huh? Is this wood ear really that expensive? Wang Wan couldn't understand for a moment. When Erniu and the other 3 heard this, they felt that little young master and little girl really didn't understand this aspect. They thought that it was normal. After all, they were children. This time, there was no need for Erniu to say anything. Pomegranate explained, "Little young master, little girl, wood ear isn't something that ordinary people can eat. The two of us didn't eat it during the New Year in Zhuangzi." Yes, they didn't eat it, they didn't eat it. Zhang Xiaobao affirmed this point. At the same time, he rolled his eyes. Wang Wan's little mouth opened way. She looked at the wood ear in Erniu's hand and then looked at Zhang Xiaobao's expression. As if she had encountered something good, she smiled sweetly. "It's good that you didn't eat it. Our family can't even eat it. Erniu, you guys have worked hard. Quickly go eat. Pomegranate, follow us in." Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan called Erniu and the other two to eat. They then led Pomegranate, who had a puzzled expression, into the innermost room. "Do you know how to plant wood ear?" Wang Wan asked Zhang Xiaobao as soon as they entered the room. "I have a general understanding of the situation, but the specific details are vague. I just need to try a few kinds of wood at the same time. After all, wood isn't valuable." Zhang Xiaobao appeared to have a well-thought-out plan. "You know quite a lot," Wang Wan muttered. "Of course. Don't you know what we do? Our profession doesn't require us to be skilled, but we need to know more." Zhang Xiaobao also muttered. He then called Pomegranate, who had just followed them in, to the front of him. "Pomegranate, I have a very important task for you. Within a day, find the wood of the linden tree and cut it into sawdust and wheat bran. Take these dried wood ear and use them. Soak them and put them to temperature. That's not the temperature. You estimate that it's slightly lower than the temperature of your body. Use a tin bucket to steam the sawdust and wheat bran. When the soaked wood ear grows hair, you have to remove the hair. How to do it? I'll tell you. Put the hairy wood ear into a bag made of gauze and knead it with cold water. The water that comes out is what we need to use. After you're done with this, you'll need to chisel small holes in the rest of the wood. As for the sterilization, you'll need to buy some lime, put some into a bowl, fill it with water, and use the water to brush the wood. That's about it. Do you understand?" Zhang Xiaobao tried hard to recall the things that he had occasionally glanced at in the past. He explained the content in a way that Pomegranate could understand. However, he ended up speaking incoherently. Pomegranate listened carefully and repeated the general steps. Zhang Xiaobao explained in detail the parts that she didn't understand. Pomegranate finally understood how to do it. However, she didn't know the purpose of her young master. "Young master, don't you want to eat the wood ear? Do you want to take it all for me? Why don't you leave some for the masters of the two families? I can't bear to eat it. Where can I find it after eating it? It's so precious. Even my family, who is rich, can't eat it. If I eat a little now, it will be a little less. When the time comes, I don't know which method is better. What will I do if it's gone?" Zhang Xiaobao looked at the wood ear in his hand and felt that it wasn't gray. It was gray-white and golden. "You can explain it to Pomegranate." "Pomegranate, I'll tell you. If we follow Xiaobao's method, we can grow our own wood ear. When we have enough, we can eat it however we want. We can't let others know about this." Wang Wan interrupted and explained to Pomegranate. "Ah!" Pomegranate opened her mouth as wide as possible. She looked at the two young masters and the dried wood ear and nodded mechanically. Suddenly, she knelt on the ground and pointed one hand to the sky and the other hand to the ground. "I, Pomegranate, swear that I will never let a fourth person know about this method except for the young master, the young lady, and myself. If I tell anyone, I will let the heavens strike me with lightning and turn me into ashes." Before Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan could react and help her, Pomegranate stood up and took the wood ear. She gasped for breath and turned around and ran away. "We're rich. We're really rich this time. Xiaobao, do you know how to grow mushrooms?" Wang Wan asked Xiaobao excitedly. She thought about how she and Zhang Xiaobao would have large plots of land in the future, and how many farmers would happily farm on those plots of land. "More or less. Mushrooms can be eaten normally. There are many in the mountains and they aren't worth much. What's the point of growing them?" Zhang Xiaobao didn't care about the money. He had long been used to it. Not much. Most people pick mushrooms in the mountains and sell them. They don't eat much at home. Mushrooms are usually cooked with meat. If they want to eat a meal, it will take them 10 days to half a month. Eating mushrooms is good for the body. If we make them for the farmers, they aren't worth much. We make baskets of them. Wang Wan was determined to create a large and warm manor so that the farmers could grow healthily. Zhang Xiaobao could only cooperate. With a stable background, they could avoid a lot of trouble. He nodded. Okay, when the wood ear is successful, we will grow mushrooms. Pine mushrooms and hazel mushrooms don't seem to work. When the time comes, we will choose one. This one is more difficult than the wood ear. That's not urgent. We can wait a few days. Let's go and see how big our garlic sprouts are. If they are edible, we will make garlic soup for the farmers tonight. Wang Wan didn't urge them for the time being. She remembered that a few days ago, a farmer sent some garlic sprouts for the master to eat. She and Zhang Xiaobao also made a lot. This thing was good and could be eaten several times. It tasted better than leeks. Chapter 75. Zhang Xiaobao didn't like to eat garlic, but Wang Wan liked to eat it. Later, the two of them found out that the people here all like to eat garlic. Some people even went to the restaurant and asked if there was any garlic. If there was, they would stay and eat it. If there wasn't, they would turn around and leave. During the new year, Wang Wan roasted some garlic. After roasting it, it was soft and slightly spicy in the mouth, but it was more of a delicate fragrance. For the sake of health, Zhang Xiaobao also ate some garlic under Wang Wan's persuasion. After eating it, he found that he still didn't like to eat it. Zhang Xiaobao felt much better about the garlic sprouts. He was willing to eat fried garlic sprouts, boil soup, and even make some raw ones to grind his teeth. Under Wang Wan's suggestion, the two of them came to the small courtyard at the back. There was a place covered with cloth. The cloth was sent to protect auspicious sign last time. They didn't throw it away after they used it. They asked Song Jinggong to bring it back. It just so happened that they could continue to use it. This was the place to plant garlic. The garlic was peeled off and not planted in the soil. Instead, it was placed in a shallow groove made of wooden planks. A little fine sand was placed under the groove, and the garlic was placed in a row. A blocking rod, which was the outer layer of the sorghum stalk, was used to pierce through it. Then, water was put in. A few days ago, the garlic sprouts were done. A stove was placed in the middle of the circle, and the garlic sprouts grew a lot in a day. Okay, they can eat it. 1/10 of it is enough for the farmers to drink soup at night. Add some eggs and more ginger, and it can also help to get rid of the cold. These people really don't want to live. The water is so cold, but they just mix it with fertilizer and plow back and forth in the field. If they don't take good care of themselves, they will be sick when they are old. Wang Wan touched the garlic sprouts with her hand and said with emotion. She was very satisfied with these farmers. When there was work to be done in the farmstead, they rushed to do it. Today, more than 6,000 chickens were let out, and the farmers followed behind them. When the chickens finished eating the eggs buried in the soil, the farmers immediately used some water and fertilizer to get them into the fields and continued plowing. Thinking of the chickens, Wang Wan felt very happy. Those chickens were finally able to eat something good. There was no need to worry that the eggs would not be discovered if they were buried in the soil. One by one, they used their claws to dig the soil. Not only were the chickens fed well, but there were also fewer eggs. The soil was also loosened, and each of them grew bigger than usual. In the winter, there were no insects to eat, and the earthworms were still breeding. These chickens ate the fish and shrimp that Pomegranate brought back, the powder from the bones, and some other coarse grains. It seemed that in another month, they would lay eggs much earlier than the usual 6 months. When the time came, the eggs would be given to cherries to choose from, and the chickens would be hatched for the farmers to raise. When autumn came, there would be no need to worry about eggs, and more chicken would appear on the table of the farmers. When Zhang Xiaobao heard Wang Wan's words, he fell into deep thought. After a while, he shook his head and said with a sigh, It's a pity that we don't have the technology to deal with oil, and we can't find rubber trees here. Otherwise, we could make some water boots for them to wear, which would be very useful. When we eat tonight, we can tell them not to stop working on the Kong bed. At night, when they go back, they should use hot water to warm their feet. Ask someone to invite a doctor to take a look at them. If they are not in good health, they should be treated as soon as possible. I think it's okay. We can find 2 doctors and let them stay in Zhuangzi. One will be responsible for treating people, and the other will be responsible for treating animals. When the cows give birth, we can secretly raise them and not report it. When the time comes, we can eat beef. Wang Wan chimed in and made an extension of it. After the 2 finished their discussion, one of them took a small pair of scissors and began to cut the garlic sprouts. After a while, they cut out the vegetables that were going to be eaten today. They carried them out and asked the servants to send them to the kitchen. Next, they had to deal with the wheat rice stones. After calling Erniu and the other 2 who had finished eating, Zhang Xiaobao instructed, "Erniu, since the stones were brought back by you, then I'll leave them to you. Smash the stones for me, pick out the good ones, and pile the rest together. When you're done, tell us." "Little young master, don't worry about this. We will definitely do it for you." Erniu nodded in agreement, even though he still did not understand why the stones were brought back. After Erniu and the other 2 left, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan began to exercise. Dusk was slowly approaching. The sun in the west hid under the mountains, leaving only the red clouds that filled the sky, changing with the wind. In a workshop in Sanshui County, Song Jinggong and Zhou Shihu were waiting for the curved plows to be made one by one. When the quantity was almost enough, Song Jinggong would go to the county yamen to find the county magistrate. This was a very important time. If they delivered the plows too early, they would not be able to make much money. If they delivered the plows too late, they would only be able to use them next year after the spring plowing. Hurry up! The more plows you can make, the more money you will get. If you can make 2,000 sets of plows before midnight today, this young master will treat you to supper tonight. Zhou Shihu shouted at the more than 200 people who were still busy. Among these people, there were blacksmiths and carpenters, all of whom he found from various places. The number of masters was small, and even these people's disciples were pulled in to do the work. This made the people who were plowing in the surrounding villages gnash their teeth in hatred. He pulled people over, and if other people's plows broke, they would not be able to find people to fix it. This was also an idea that Zhou Shihu thought was not bad. It was to make those farmers lack plows. Otherwise, who would he sell the plows to? Every time he thought of this matter, he would proudly tell Song Jinggong about it. These craftsmen also knew what kind of person young Master Zhou was. Seeing that there was more money to be earned and that they could not offend this young master, all of them worked hard. They were very clear about what they were making. The apprentices only knew about the new plows, but they did not know how much better they were compared to the usual plows. It was just that one of the plows was curved, while the other was straight. However, the old craftsmen were not like this. They had made many things, so they could understand the benefits of new things with just a glance. When they were making the plows, they were still lamenting about who was so smart to make this kind of plows. When the plows were used, the farmers would have an easier time. These old craftsmen saw that their apprentices did not understand the benefits of the plows, so they explained to their apprentices as they worked. It could be considered as teaching their apprentices. They explained the structure of each place and what kind of use this arrangement would have. The disciples all opened their eyes wide as they listened. Their hands were not slow either. In the end, they all understood that the curved plow actually had so many benefits. They all began to worship the person who made this plow. Some could not even suppress the curiosity in their hearts and turned to ask Zhou Shihu. If it was a normal day, Zhou Shihu would definitely not answer this kind of question. However, Zhou Shihu was very happy today as he had another business. When others asked, he would answer. However, no matter how he answered, he would not say Zhongjia Zhuangzi. This was what Song Jinggong reminded him. Of course, Zhou Shihu did not know who made these things. When it was midnight, these craftsmen really finished 2,000 sets. Zhou Shihu did not say anything and immediately ordered people to prepare wine and dishes. He wanted to properly entertain the craftsmen. At this time, Song Jinggong bid farewell and left. He brought another plough that was originally made to the yamen. He knocked on the door of the backyard and asked the gatekeeper to go in and report. The gatekeeper was dozing off. When he saw someone coming in the middle of the night, he wanted to refuse. However, when he saw that it was Song Jinggong, he did not say anything and ran to report. The magistrate had ordered that no matter what time this young Master Song came, he was to be informed. When Song Jinggong entered the living room, County Magistrate Chang Lingxiang had already put on his clothes and was sitting there waiting with his sleepy eyes open. Someone had also prepared tea for him. When he saw Song Jinggong dragging a heavy thing over, he yawned and asked curiously, "Zijin, why did you bring this thing here in the middle of the night? Come, sit down and drink some tea." It seems that Zijin has not slept yet. County Magistrate Chang let Song Jinggong sit on a chair beside the table. Song Jinggong had taught him how to make this chair. Originally, he was either sitting on a bench or sitting on a cushion. It was far less comfortable than this chair. "Magistrate, your eyes are as sharp as torches. As soon as I arrived, I knew that I came for the thing in my hand. Magistrate, this is a type of plough used for farming. Because the shaft is curved, I call it the curved shaft plough. Using this plough to farm is much faster than using a straight shaft plough. It also makes people feel more relaxed. Even if it is pulled by people, it is not much worse than a straight shaft plough pulled by animals." Song Jinggong knew that this was not the time to be modest. Whether or not Zhuangzi could avoid the danger of being confiscated and whether or not he could obtain more benefits, the curved shaft plough would play a significant role. He believed that County Magistrate Cheng would understand how much this plough could bring him. Sure enough, as soon as Song Jinggong finished speaking, County Magistrate Cheng, who was still sitting there, suddenly stood up. He stared at the plough that he had never seen before and asked with a trembling voice, "Zijin, are you serious? Aren't you just trying to make me happy? Good heavens! A person pulling a plough is not much slower than an animal. This is a great achievement. This achievement? Magistrate, don't be anxious. Listen to me slowly. Ever since the auspicious signs appeared in Sanshui County, you have been thinking day and night about how to obtain more benefits for the people of Sanshui County. You want to let the farmers of Sanshui County have a good harvest. You can't drink tea well and can't eat well. You've become so tired. Heaven is strong, and a gentleman should constantly strive to improve himself. Because of your hard work, you finally realized that if you want to have a good harvest in autumn, you need to do well in spring plowing. You know that it is too late to work on the seeds, so you can only find some improvements in the farmland. Heaven does not let down those who work hard. Magistrate's hair has turned white. You finally realized that if you want to understand the matters of the farmland, you need to find someone who works on the ground. So, Magistrate, you found a Zhuangzi. Under your guidance, the Zhuangzi farmer suddenly became enlightened. After a few days of pondering, he finally made the curved shaft plough that Magistrate wanted. After testing it in the field, the farmers all praised Magistrate for being awesome. At the request of the farmer, I brought one to Magistrate. Magistrate, take a look. Is there anything else that needs to be improved? Song Jinggong said a bunch of nonsense and then looked at County Magistrate Cheng with a smile. Chapter 76. County Magistrate Cheng looked at the plough and listened to Song Jinggong. At first, he was happy, but then he felt that his face was a little hot. In the end, he opened his mouth in surprise. After Song Jinggong finished speaking, County Magistrate Cheng recovered from his surprise and shock. He looked away from the plough and at Song Jinggong's face. "Zijin, did you say that? Or?" "Sir, it was the farmers in Zhuangzi of the Zhang family and Wang family who said it." "Sir, you are a good official. The farmers will remember it in their hearts," Song Jinggong said with certainty. County Magistrate Cheng understood immediately. That person was willing to give him the biggest credit. If the plough was really as Song Jinggong said, and with the auspicious sign last time, his position would be improved after the examination. As if he knew what he was thinking, Song Jinggong continued, "Sir, the spring plowing is busy. What we need is time. Why don't you let me accompany you tomorrow morning to test the plow? We can make it early and give it to the farmers." "No, we can't do it tomorrow. Tomorrow will be one day later. We have to leave now. Servants, bring a carriage and find the nearest zhuangzi to have a look." At this time, County Magistrate Cheng's mind was full of his future career. How could he waste one night in vain? He called the people in the mansion and turned to Song Jinggong and said, "Zijin, Zhangjia Zhuangzi, who cooperated with me, also made a big contribution this time. I don't know if there is anything I can help with. I will make the decision for the people." "Darren, speaking of difficulties, there is indeed one. I heard that the current emperor wants to take back all the farmland in the world. Sanshui County is close to the capital, so it is inevitable that the 100 households of the Zhang family's farmstead and the 1,000 mu of farmland will be taken back." Song Jinggong received the young master's order and told him everything. County Magistrate Chang was in a dilemma and sighed, "If that is the case, then the plow's contribution will be—" "That's right, my lord, you have to take the first credit. Without my lord, there would be no curved yuan plow." Song Jinggong affirmed again. County Magistrate Cheng was moved. If that zhuangzi had taken all the credit, even if they found out that something had happened, it would be considered as nothing had happened. The Tuyuan plow was a good thing for the country and the people. Perhaps not only would he not accept the original reward, but he would also be rewarded more. However, this great merit would be pushed to him. After thinking for a while, the carriage was ready. County Magistrate Chang had no choice but to walk to the carriage with Song Jinggong as he said to him, "Zijin, I don't have the ability to fake it. Do you know who the person on the carriage is?" "Prime Minister Yao Cheng. Even if I can hide it from the provincial governor, I can't hide it from that iron-faced Yao Cheng." "Darren, there is no need to hide it. The villagers have all said that Darren only needs to help delay the time. For example, during the summer or autumn season, the investigation in the county has to be done first and foremost. Tuqiao village is located at a far distance away, and there is not enough manpower for the investigation, so it can only be done last. What do you think, Darren?" Song Jinggong at the side was half a hint. County Magistrate Cheng nodded. He also felt that it was very easy to do this kind of thing. However, even if it was delayed until the winter, would Zhuangzi have a solution? "Zijin, could it be that Zhuangzi has other plans?" County Magistrate Cheng wanted to know what the two masters were hiding. Right now, he didn't just admire the expert in the manner. He really wanted to meet him, or even worship him as a disciple. He had taken out so many things without making things difficult for him at all. He had even given him merits in such a casual manner. They helped him so much and were so old. It was not too much to ask him to become their disciple. How many people's teachers could take care of their own students like the masters? "Darren, I don't know what you are asking. Maybe during the summer or autumn season, I will know." Song Jinggong did not know that County Magistrate Cheng had already thought of the two little ancestors in his family as old men and even had the idea of becoming their disciple. He shook his head and said, "Oh, that's good. I will handle the matter on Zhuangzi properly." County Magistrate Cheng saw that Song Jinggong also did not know, so he did not ask any more. He was thinking about whether this curved plow was as good as he said. After traveling for 2 hours, they finally found a place on Zhuangzi. The people on the farm had already gone to bed. County Magistrate Cheng asked someone to call a farmer and said to him, "I have a new plow here. Why don't you try it?" The farmer was still sleeping when he was called. At first, he was a little unwilling. However, when he heard that the county magistrate had come personally, he quickly dressed and was brought here. When he heard that the county magistrate wanted him to try a new plow, he was puzzled but did not dare to ask too much. He just agreed. "Darren, since you want me to try it, I will try it." "Darren, should I wake up my child and let him pull the plow?" "No need. I have already prepared a horse for you. Put it on and use it." County Magistrate Cheng had already considered this when he came, so he brought an extra horse to follow behind. It was just right for him to use it now. The old man quickly put the plow on the horse and put it in the field. He urged the horse, and the horse slowly moved forward. The old man, who was used to using a straight plow, was not used to it at first. However, after 2 steps, the speed became faster and faster. He shouted happily as he plowed. "It's so fast! It's so fast! It's so fast! It's so good! I have never seen such a good plow in my life. Darren, you are really a good person. Darren, you can even think of trying a new plow in the middle of the night. I don't know who made this plow. If I had a plow like this, I would not have to worry about this spring." Of course, it was the county magistrate who thought of it. He found a zhuangzi and asked the farmer there to help him make it. The county magistrate has been thinking about how to make the spring plowing faster these days. He is so anxious that his hair has turned white. Song Jingong stood on the edge of the field. When he heard the old man shouting, he also shouted, as if he was afraid that others did not know. His voice was so loud that it woke up some farmers. County Magistrate Cheng was not familiar with farming and did not know how good the new plow was. Now that he heard the old man shouting, he was happy. As for Song Jingong's words, he did not refute and said with a smile, "It's so good that it's good. I will give this plow to you. Zijin, when you go back, bring a curved plow from Zhuangzi. I have decided to find a craftsman to make it or teach them how to make it. While there are still some days left, let's plow the field first. It will be difficult for our county not to have a good harvest this year." Darren, you are right. With you working so hard, even God will be on your side. Darren, I don't need to go back to Zhuangzi to get it. Young Master Zhou has 2,000 sets now. If I go back now, he may have made more. When I came here, young Master Zhou said that I can ask some people to buy it from him. He doesn't charge much, only 10% more than the normal straight plow. Song Jingong smiled and told him about the inventory on the other side. County Magistrate Cheng blinked twice and nodded. As expected, he won't just hand over the plow. He must get some benefits from it. Since that is the case, I will ask people to put up notices in the county early in the morning and ask people to go to Zhou Shihu to buy it. County Magistrate Cheng did not understand why such a powerful expert liked to make money. However, his ability to make money was not ordinary. After the discussion, before the county magistrate and the others went back, some of the other villagers who were woken up also got up and went out to see what was going on. When the villagers went out, they saw a person plowing in the field with the help of the moonlight. Everyone was puzzled. Who was so powerful that he could work in the middle of the night without sleeping? When they got closer, they recognized him. It was the bald old man in the village. When they saw him, someone immediately shouted, "Bald old man, what are you doing? Could it be that he's suffering from psychosis? So it's the little donkey. You also came out. Quickly go and greet the county magistrate." The county magistrate gave me a new set of plow called a curved shaft plow. When plowing, one can do the work of several people. The old man's voice was also heard. When they heard this, everyone realized that the county magistrate was among the group of people standing there. This was a high position. When they were frightened, they trembled and went forward to greet him. County Magistrate Cheng was naturally polite. Song Jingong, who was beside him, told them about how the county magistrate did things for the people. County Magistrate Cheng received a lot of praise. Since he said that the new plow was good, the villagers naturally went to check it out. One by one, they ran over and saw the speed at which the bald old man plowed. With the new plow, the villagers all wanted to try it. Plowing took a few steps, but before they could get addicted to it, it was snatched away by someone else. County Magistrate Cheng was not in a hurry to leave. The villagers were also the people under his rule. When he saw that they were happy, he was happy as well. As a result, all the people in Zhuangzi got up and spread the news. When they knew that the county magistrate had personally come and brought a very useful new plow, they were envious of the bald old man and were also thinking about whether they should get a new plow. County Magistrate Cheng told everyone where to buy a new plow on the spot. He also told them the approximate price. After encouraging them, he got on the carriage and left. The villagers spontaneously followed behind to see him off. After walking for 5 or 6 li, they could not keep up with the slow carriage. They stopped and watched the carriage go away. This feeling is really good. County Magistrate Cheng leaned against the carriage and thought about the words of the people just now. He also thought about the long journey of seeing him off. He sighed with emotion. Song Jinggong also heard it, but did not say anything. At this time, it was better to let the county magistrate feel the happiness of the people. It took him 2 hours to leave and 3 hours to return. The sky was beginning to brighten. Those who had woken up early to do business also began to appear on the streets. County Magistrate Chang Lingxiang had just gotten off the carriage with a happy mood when someone from the yamen came to report, "Sir, you are back." Just now, the village chief of Tuqiao village came and said that he has something important to tell you. The village chief also came with him and is now waiting in the hall. Because I had to maintain a kind of passion after writing, I did not see some of the wrong words. If anyone saw them, tell me and I will correct them together tonight. Remember which chapter. Thank you. Chapter 77. When County Magistrate Chang heard what the servant said, he frowned and turned to look at Song Jinggong, who was also confused. He asked the servant, "Do you know why those 2 people are here?" This lowly one doesn't know. The 2 of them didn't tell this lowly one. Presumably, something big must have happened for the 2 of them to set off yesterday and rush over here. Okay. County Magistrate Cheng nodded and didn't say anything else. She led Song Jinggong into the mansion. Song Jinggong didn't say much either. He could guess why Qi Zhang and Elder Qian were here. It was probably because the young master asked them to tell him. Gu Ringxi couldn't find anything, so he reported the situation of Zhang family and Wang family in Zhuangzi. These 2 people didn't have any rank and were similar to the village. They were just coordinating some things in the village. Unfortunately, the young master had already thought of it and arranged everything. He didn't have to worry about being schemed against. County Magistrate Cheng slept for less than 4 hours, but he didn't feel tired at all. He was still excited about being praised by the people. He asked Song Jinggong to rest in the side room and came to the main hall. The village chief and Elder Qian, who had been drinking tea 3 times, saw the county magistrate and quickly stood up and bowed. They didn't sleep for long, so they were as energetic as the county magistrate. "So it's Qi Lijing and Elder Feng. I wonder if something big happened in the county this early in the morning?" County Magistrate Cheng was also very polite to the 2 of them, especially the elder whose surname was Feng. He used to work in the yamen and retired from the position of county deputy. Because of his high status in the village, he was regarded as an elder by others and could not be neglected. Qi Lijing and Senior Feng looked at each other. In the end, Qi Lijing said, "County Magistrate, the 2 of us do have something important to tell you." "Oh. No hurry. You haven't eaten anything yet, right? Wait for someone to bring snacks. We'll talk after eating. I'm the same. I've been busy for so long and my stomach is empty." County Magistrate Cheng saw that these 2 people seemed to be happy, so he wasn't in a hurry. He asked someone to bring snacks and sat there to eat with them. Qi Lijing and Old Feng were indeed hungry, especially Old Feng. He was old and rushed here overnight. He needed to eat something and rest. The 3 of them drank tea and ate without talking. Qi Lijing was relatively younger. He was thinking about how to tell the good news to the county magistrate. By then, he would have made a great contribution to the county magistrate. As he ate, he thought about it. Last night, Gu Ringxi, the village chief of Zhuangzi, came looking for him and told him about the spring plowing of the Zhang family and Wang family in Zhuangzi. At first, he did not believe it, but when someone lit a fire and went over to investigate, he understood that the second plowing had already begun. This was something extraordinary. Other families hadn't even finished plowing once. Zhang family and Wang family didn't have many people in Zhuangzi, but they plowed very quickly. There were only a few people on night watch in the fields. After questioning them, he didn't get anything. If Guingxi didn't say that the plows used here were different from other places, he would have been fooled by the night watch of Zhang family and Wang family in Zhuangzi. They had such a good thing, but they didn't take it out and didn't report it to him. If it was something else, it would be fine. However, this was something that could speed up the spring plowing. He couldn't let it go. Since that was the case, he had to give it a push. After going through the matter in his mind, Qi Lijing drank tea from time to time. He stopped to look at the county magistrate and old Feng. He thought that his prestige could be further improved in the future. He felt that the tea was better than usual. Old Feng was also suppressing the excitement in his heart as he ate. Last night, Guingxi and Qi Lijing came together. He also went to take a look. After showing his identity, they didn't ask the person in charge to come over. They said that they had to wait until tomorrow morning. As a deputy county magistrate of 2 realms, he knew that the plows that could speed up the plowing process was very beneficial to the entire Tang Empire. Even if Zhang family and Wang family didn't seem to want to take it out in Zhuangzi, he had to report it. The snack lasted for half an hour. County Magistrate Cheng took another sip of tea and asked, Qi Lijing and Old Feng, do you feel that your stomachs don't feel so uncomfortable anymore? The two of them answered in unison. This time, Qi Lijing started again. Sir, we came here because we have something important to report. This matter is beneficial to the country and the people. Oh. What matter is beneficial to the country and the people? Tell me quickly. County Magistrate Cheng pretended to be anxious. Just now, he asked them to accompany him to eat. However, he was really not anxious. Beneficial to the country and the people? What matter was more important than the new plows that he had just made? Qi Lijing coughed softly and tried to calm himself down. He said, Sir, we found a place where the spring plowing process was several times faster than other places. I heard that there was a new type of plows that was different from other places. Old Feng and I checked that night. When we went there to have a look, it was true. Other places had not finished plowing the first time, but that place had already started plowing the second time. When we went there to have a look, that place had already plowed a lot of the second time. The fertilizer had already been turned into the soil. When the time comes, people will step on it. Old Feng and I wanted to see the person in charge of Zhuangzi. Who would have thought that no one would come out even after we asked them to call? They insisted that we should wait until tomorrow. Old Feng was afraid that a long night would cause trouble. At that time, they would not admit that there was a new plows. That was why we came here overnight. County Magistrate Cheng listened. At first, he thought that there was something else. But after listening for a while, he understood that it was because of the curved plows. Then, there was nothing strange. He thought that the two of them had not seen the plows and yet they came here looking for him. He was not as anxious as the two of them when he personally sent the plows to others. Ah, so it was this matter. I understand. County Magistrate Cheng waited for Qi Lijing to finish speaking. Then, he nodded casually and picked up the teacup to drink. Sir, you should quickly send people to check and find the two people in charge of Zhuangzi. Then, you should ask them to present the plows. When Qi Lijing saw that County Magistrate Cheng was not happy, he became anxious and urged him. After he finished speaking, he was worried that County Magistrate Cheng would blame him. He sat there anxiously and did not know what to do. When Old Feng saw this, he also said, Sir, Qi Lijing is right. What if the people there do not want to present the plows and secretly destroy them? Then, our dynasty will lose a good item. Fine. Since Old Feng said so, then I will let Old Feng and Qi Lijing be at ease. County Magistrate Chang said as he called a servant and whispered a few words into his ear. The servant turned around and left. County Magistrate Cheng continued to invite the two people to drink tea. Qi Lijing and Old Feng thought that County Magistrate Cheng was going to send them to Zhuangzi. Thus, they calmed down. After about 15 minutes, the servant who left just now returned to the hall. He was carrying a set of plows behind him. Qi Lijing and Old Feng, take a look. Is this the type of plows? It is different from normal plows. The shaft of this plows is curved. County Magistrate Chung took another sip of tea and said to the two people with a smile. The plows were just taken from Zhou Shihu. Qi Lijing and Old Feng had never seen the plows used by the Zhang family and the Wang family in Zhuangzi. They only heard from the housekeeper of Guzhuang that the new plows were different from the old ones. When they saw it and heard what County Magistrate Cheng said, they were stunned. The two of them also knew that no matter how fast a horse was, it would not be able to go back and forth from the county to the village in such a short time. This meant that the County Magistrate Cheng already had the plows. "Sir, where did you get this plows?" Qi Lijing asked again. "In a family in the county. I already know why Qi Lijing and Old Feng are here. Don't worry. When the sun rises today, I will ask people to put up a notice in the county and ask the people who are plowing to go there to buy the plows. This morning, I came back from outside just to test this new plows." County Magistrate Chung put on an unfathomable expression and said to Qi Lijing and Old Feng with a smile. This. Qi Lijing wanted to say something, but he did not know where to start. "Sir, since you already knew, why didn't you ask people to make more plows at the beginning of the spring plowing?" Old Feng asked. "It's not that I didn't want to, but I couldn't. Once the new plows are made, we don't know if they are good. We have to find someone to use them first." The Zhang family and the Wang family in Zhuangzi also thought the same. "Now it seems that they are good," County Magistrate Chang said and glanced at the servant. The servant followed the county magistrate to Zhuangzi last night to test the plows, so he naturally understood what the county magistrate meant. He immediately said, "Qi Lijing and Old Feng may not know, but this new plows are called curved plows. Our county magistrate thought hard and found a farmer in Zhangjia Zhuangzi to make them. After the Zhang family and the Wang family used them and sent someone to deliver the new plows, our county magistrate did not care about his tiredness. He ordered people to make the new plows first and then personally went to a nearby farmer to test it. These days, our county magistrate has not been eating and drinking, and he has lost a lot of weight." The servant started to wipe his tears as he spoke. It seemed that he really felt sorry for the county magistrate. Qi Lijing and Old Feng were dumbfounded. They looked at County Magistrate Cheng and did not realize that he had lost weight. The two of them originally thought that they would be praised, but they did not expect that the county magistrate already knew about it. Moreover, the new plows were made by the county magistrate. Qi Lijing did not doubt it, but Old Feng, who used to be the deputy county magistrate, knew the knack of it. It seemed that the Zhang family and the Wang family had found County Magistrate Cheng. No wonder he did not care about Qi Lijing and him going there. The most important thing was that he had thought about this aspect. Qi Lijing went there overnight and did not get anything in the end. So it is the new plows made by County Magistrate. I really do not know what to say. County Magistrate is really a good official. You think about the people. County Magistrate should rest more. Don't tire yourself out. The people in the county cannot lose a good official like you. Other than saying this, Old Feng could not find anything else to say. After he finished speaking, he was about to stand up and leave. County Magistrate Chang quickly said, "Qi Lijing and Old Feng, you don't have to leave in a hurry. Rest for a while and come with me to the place where the plows are sold." Chapter 78. Birds chirped in the branches, dogs barked in the countryside, and chickens crowed. Early in the morning, Erniu brought Zhang Xiaowu and Zhang Xiaolu to smash big rocks one by one until the small rocks were only the size of a fingernail. Only then did they meet the requirements. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan came down from the Kong, washed up, and sat at the table to eat. The two of them had grown a few more teeth. They had always paid attention to training their teeth, so now they could eat hard things. They had fried big bones, which were deep-fried dough sticks. In front of them was a bowl of soy milk, a plate of fermented bean curd, and a large amount of braised pork on the largest plate. There was no one to serve them at this time. Xiao Hong saw that the weather was warm, so she hurriedly ate something in the morning and drove the ducks and geese to the pond to test the water. She hadn't returned yet, but it seemed that the test was successful. Cherries was taking care of more than 6,000 chickens, so she couldn't come back at all. Pomegranate was busy with the fungus. When she woke up in the morning, she ate a big bun and went to the pond to observe. Originally, Jiang Wang clan wanted to send someone over for the two children, but Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan refused. Everyone was busy, so the two of them didn't need to waste any manpower. This morning, it wasn't only Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan who ate deep-fried dough sticks. Everyone else also ate. If they wanted to eat buns, they would eat buns. If they wanted to eat deep-fried dough sticks, they would eat deep-fried dough sticks. There were also steamed buns and a few kinds of pickles. They could eat as much as they wanted. The deep-fried dough sticks could be said to be invented by the two of them, as well as the braised pork. When they woke up in the morning, they should eat something light. Everyone else did, except for Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. They asked someone to send a big plate of food over. Today, the two of them were preparing to help out in the fields. When they were growing up, nutrition couldn't be lacking. Only carbohydrates couldn't satisfy the needs of the two of them. Xiaobao, later on, should we push the cart over there or carry a bag of stones? Wang Wan picked up a piece of red braised pork that had a large proportion of fat and threw it into her mouth. While chewing, she talked to Zhang Xiaobao. I don't want to die from exhaustion. Let's wait over there later and help look after the chickens. Zhang Xiaobao also picked up a piece of fatty meat. Alright then. Actually, why don't we go to the river and see if we can get some fish? I think that with our current physical condition, we can still fight with a small fish with tools. Don't always be fat and thin. Who's going to eat the rest? Wang Wan said as she picked up a piece of lean red braised pork for Zhang Xiaobao. The people here like to eat fatty meat because it was oily. She and Zhang Xiaobao originally liked to eat fatty meat, but in the end, they didn't eat it because they were too thin. Alright, then I'll eat more protein. Don't count on the river. If we want to go there, we need to find someone to accompany us. When Erniu and the others have chosen the wheat meal stone, we can use it. We can also use it in drinking water, cooking, and bathing. Yes, we can't let Erniu and the others smash all the stones. We have to leave a few big ones and let someone hollow out the middle to make cups. When the time comes, we can use it to make tea for our two families. The effect should be better. Zhang Xiaobao picked up a toothpick and used it to check the teeth that were stuffed when he ate the lean meat just now. His two front teeth were relatively neat, so the meat was stuffed in the middle. Alright, don't look like that. You've eaten too much, right? You can stuff your teeth with meat. Stupid, it's easy to look after chickens. First, let the craftsman in the farmstead make 2 smaller slingshots for you to practice your strength and accuracy. It would be great if you had a gun. Do you know how to shoot? Wang Wan looked at Zhang Xiaobao's slightly protesting eyes. She twisted her words and changed the topic again. Do you think I know how to shoot? At that time I was abroad. I could spend a little money and I could have a place to practice. I don't have the ability to make guns. This difficult and glorious task will be handed to you. Zhang Xiaobao drank a big mouthful of soy milk and said to Wang Wan, I don't know how to shoot either. I learned how to command. Alright, I'm full. When we go later, bring some pork floss and carrot sugar juice. Wang Wan put down the chopsticks, threw down a sentence, and stood up to rinse her mouth. Zhang Xiaobao quickly ate a few more mouthfuls and followed her. When the two of them arrived at the fields in Zhuangzi, Erniu had already sent half a wheelbarrow full of stones. None of them were big. Zhang Xiaobao immediately asked people to mix these small stones with the fertilizer and turn them over to the fields. Little young master, what are these stones for? A farmer followed Zhang Xiaobao's instructions and asked. I don't know. My mother told me to ask her when I go back tonight. She will tell you tomorrow. Zhang Xiaobao naturally wouldn't say that this thing was for increasing the production. Since it's the madam's order, then it's done. Little young master, you don't need to trouble the madam anymore. The farmer didn't want to ask about this matter, even if he felt that if the stones were turned over, they would cut his feet when transplanting the seedlings. My mother said that we don't need to transplant seedlings this year. Just throw the seedlings in directly. At that time, we will give everyone an extra pair of shoes. Don't walk barefoot in the water. Zhang Xiaobao certainly knew what the farmer was worried about. He could see it from his undisguised gaze. When the farmer heard that they didn't need to plant seedlings and just threw them casually, he immediately became anxious. Little young master, this won't do. You have to go back and persuade the madam. If we don't plant seedlings, how can we harvest in autumn? I will do as my mother says. I heard that this is a secret recipe that my mother obtained. It's very useful. Otherwise, why wouldn't my mother be worried about her own family's land? Zhang Xiaobao explained. When he saw the farmer's doubtful look, he didn't say anything more and went to look at the chickens with Wang Wan. If he wasn't worried about the people above investigating, he wouldn't have turned over the stubble on the ground last autumn after cutting the rice. He would wait until spring when the rice seedlings were planted, then throw the straw in. That would be more effective. But if he really did that, he would definitely be caught and questioned. Even if the land was his family's, if he really did something bad, he could still be convicted. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan each had a small slingshot. They could only hit the pebbles that were the size of soybeans. They aimed at the chickens and hit them one by one. Even if they hit them, they didn't have much strength. The chickens that were hit cooed twice and moved slightly to continue looking for food. At noon, the farmers stopped and started to prepare for lunch. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan originally didn't care about lunch. They only cared about dinner. Later, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan felt that it was a waste of a lot of manpower to go back and forth. Now that the plow was easy to use and the women could help with the plowing, they finally decided to take care of lunch as well. They quickly finished the spring plowing and let these idle people go up the mountain to pick mushrooms and wild vegetables. There was still an empty slope behind the two families. When the time came, they could plant more trees. The soil on the ground wasn't very good, so they had to transport some soil elsewhere. When the time came, they could plant fruit trees. This required people to do it. While they were eating, County Magistrate Cheng sent someone to deliver a message to the housekeeper. He told the housekeeper that Gu Yingxi had found Qi Lijing and Old Feng and reported this matter to the county magistrate. While waiting for the people to be arranged to eat, Zhang Xiaobao learned about this matter from the housekeeper. He and Wang Wan found the housekeeper of the Wang family and said to him, "Housekeeper Wang, after lunch, go and call the steward of the Gu family in Zhuangzi. Give him a pair of curved plows and ask him to do the same." "Young master, why do you do this? Why should we let others know about our good things?" Housekeeper Wang didn't know that such things had been sent to the county magistrate and that many of them had been made. Leave the recipe or leave the brains. County Magistrate Cheng has already arranged for people to start buying. Wang Wan felt that this housekeeper's brain was a little slow. It was such a simple principle, but he couldn't understand it. After hearing Wang Wan's words, the housekeeper thought for a while and finally nodded. "I understand. I will go in a while." After housekeeper Wang left, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan found a tree stump that had sprouted new buds and sat down to rest. They were tired. After shooting slingshots for the whole morning, their arms were sore. "This Gu Yingxi is really anxious." Wang Wan drank a mouthful of carrot juice and looked in the direction of the Gu family in Zhuangzi and said, "Yes, in fact, it's not easy for him. After being cheated by our two families, that farmer doesn't have the energy to work. The small river between him and us is not bad. We can use it in the future, especially the wide area below. When the time comes, we can ask him if he is willing to cooperate. If he is willing, we can work together." When Zhang Xiaobao thought of Gu Yingxi's sad face all day, he felt that it was interesting. He also sympathized with Gu Yingxi. If it was anyone else, they would be afraid of comparing themselves with others. Wang Wan turned her head and saw Zhang Xiaobao's hand moving on his leg again. She knew that he was thinking of ideas again. When Zhang Xiaobao's hand stopped moving, she asked, "What good idea have you thought of to make a fortune? You can even bring the Gu family in? It's not up to us to decide whether to bring his family or not. It depends on whether they are sensible or not. Last time, I wanted to help them at the market, but he refused. This is the second chance. If he misses it again, he can't blame others. If Zhang Xiaobao didn't want to see the three Zhuangzi so close together and want to be neighbors, he wouldn't care whether Gu Yingxi was worried or not. That's right. The opportunity is right in front of you. If you don't know how to grasp it, then you don't deserve to be pitied. Tell me the idea. Wang Wan asked. Well, the idea is to build a dam at the bottom. When the water level is high, we can raise fish in it. Raise big fish. What kind of fish is big? Sea fish. That's settled. When the time comes, we can get a whale here. When we have nothing to do, we can watch the whale breathe and spray water. Zhang Xiaobao pointed at that side with his hand, looking like he was giving advice. Wang Wan listened and put her hand on Zhang Xiaobao's forehead. Are you sick? No, I know that sea fish are not easy to raise, but can't we just sprinkle salt in it? Zhang Xiaobao added confidently. Seriously ill? Wang Wan put her other hand on Zhang Xiaobao's forehead. Chapter 79. I'm not sick. I'm really not sick. I'm just kidding. I'm planning to build a restaurant there. A 2-story restaurant will do. It will be directly above the water, and it won't be just a simple one. The restaurant in the middle must be empty. You can sit and eat in the restaurant, and you can see the scenery outside as well as inside. The lowest empty area will be surrounded by a net, and the fish can be raised in it. Those who want to see the scenery can go to the second floor, and those who want to fish can go to the first floor. You can fish in both the inner and outer circles. There are fields and mountains here. Usually, when you wake up in the morning, there will be a feeling of clouds and mist. Coupled with the water vapor in the river, it will definitely be comfortable to eat and rest up there. I've even thought of a name. It will be called Between the Clouds and the Water. Zhang Xiaobao finally got down to business and told Wang Wan his plan. Why does this idea sound so familiar? I remember there was a scam like this before. They said that they wanted to put a city on the water. You're not lying, right? Wang Wan thought of a case as she listened. That was to cheat the bank for a loan. Who would I cheat? We're the ones paying for it. Gu Yingxi is already so poor. Why would I cheat him? Liars also have morals. Of course, when the restaurant is built, there may not be people coming. It's a long journey. First, there are no gambling houses. Second, there are no brothels. Who would be willing to come? Zhang Xiaobao also pointed out the shortcomings of his plan. Wang Wan blinked. Since you know, why do you still want to build it? We can have other things, such as food. After all, the food now can't be compared to the food of our time. There are also many lost dishes that we can't compare to. It doesn't matter. We can just find a chef who knows how to cook. As long as we write down the dishes that we have eaten and change the seasonings, we can make many dishes that people here haven't eaten before. Song Jinggong's reputation has been made, so I asked him to find a group of literati and literati to come here to play. After these people eat and sing well, they will go back and help us spread the word. More people will come here. Plus, there is a market here. Those smart businessmen will see a business opportunity. We can build more shops and rent them out. The government will send people over to collect taxes. Let County Magistrate Cheng talk to them and use the money to repair the roads. When the roads are repaired, the villagers will be raising chickens and pigs. Our 2 villages will work together and set the prices. We don't have to send the goods out to sell. Someone will send the goods to us when we buy. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the villager who had started to work again and described with a firm gaze. And then, go on, I like to hear this kind of thing. Wang Wan also had a look of yearning. Also, our business is still too small. Let's talk about it when the time comes. Rich people won't care about a small place like ours at all. At the same time, there will be many people who will copy what we do and compete with us for customers. Driven by profit, all kinds of troubles will come one after another. Zhang Xiaobao's tone changed as he spoke. He sounded a little helpless and a little indifferent. Wang Wan also understood that this was unavoidable. If you want to live a good life, you have to face all kinds of problems. Running away won't solve the problems. Let's go and practice with the slingshot. We can talk about the future later. Let's take it one step at a time. The two of them picked up some small stones and began to bully the chickens again. Gu Yingxi also followed the housekeeper here. Originally, Housekeeper Wang only asked someone to find Housekeeper Gu, but Gu Yingxi insisted on coming after knowing. He just wanted to see what that secret thing looked like. Villager Gu is also here. Housekeeper Gu, this is the new plow on Zhuangzi. We call it the curved shaft plow. A few days ago, we wanted to see if this plow was good, so we didn't let Villager Gu know. If it wasn't good, wouldn't the Gu family's Zhuangzi be harmed? When Housekeeper Wang, who was waiting here, saw someone crossing the bridge, he immediately went to greet them. As he walked back, he asked someone to bring the plow for them to see. No normal person would believe what he said. Gu Yingxi and the housekeeper squatted down and looked at the plow carefully. At the same time, Gu Yingxi said to Housekeeper Wang, "Housekeeper Wang is very thoughtful. So this plow can be used? Do you want to find village chief? This will be a great achievement." Gu Yingxi's tone was sour when he said this. He thought he found someone to make the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family compromise in Zhuangzi. There's no need for that. In fact, the county magistrate was the one who asked us to make this plow. There should be many similar plows on sale in the county right now. I'll give this to village head Gu. It's not too late to take it back and make the same. When Housekeeper Wang looked at Gu Yingxi, he felt that this person was a little pitiful. He spent so much effort, but the result didn't change, but the process was different. He thought that Gu Yingxi must be very upset. Ah! The county magistrate already knew? This good. So the county magistrate wants to increase the income of the people, so he made this plow. It's really not ordinary. Gu Yingxi was indeed uncomfortable. He didn't believe that the county magistrate already knew, but when he heard that the county already had this kind of plow, he understood that the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family thought about it before him. He felt that he was using all his strength to catch a chicken on the ground, but in the end, he caught nothing. The Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family were really too deceitful. Thinking this in his heart, he still had to say some good words. He asked the housekeeper to go back and find someone to take the plow back. He said to Housekeeper Wang, "Thank you very much, Housekeeper Wang. First, you let your own villagers use it, which shows that your courage is unusual. After using it well, you let us use it to learn. This is not a small favor. With the new plow, we can plant the seedlings earlier this year. If we can make it in time for 2 rainy days, then we won't have to worry about autumn." Well said. Who asked our 2 families to be so close to Zhuangzi? As the saying goes, a close neighbor is better than a distant relative. If we can help each other, of course we should help each other. Who hasn't met with difficulties? If one day the Wang family is in trouble in Zhuangzi, I think village manager Gu will also be in the same situation. Housekeeper Wang put on a sincere expression and replied, Yes, we should help each other. Zhuangzi still has some things to do. Housekeeper Wang, you can go do it." Since he got what he wanted, Gu Yingxi didn't want to say more. After saying a few words of courtesy, he turned around and left. With the new plow, it was much better than the previous one. It was sold in the county town. The news seemed to have wings. In just half a day, it spread throughout the county town. Some people had already started to buy it. This was a notice issued by the county magistrate, so he wouldn't lie to them. County Magistrate Cheng was also busy. After resting for a while, he suddenly remembered that he forgot the most important thing. He got up and went to the study room. He wrote a petition and asked someone to send it out quickly. After the messenger left, he asked someone to bring 2 sets of curved plow and send it to the county town as fast as possible. This was the time to show off his merit, so he couldn't be late. After finishing all these, he couldn't sleep anymore. He asked someone to wake up Qi Lijing and Senior Feng. Then, he walked to Zhou Shihu with these 2 people who obviously didn't have enough sleep. He wanted to stay there in person so that more people who were still hesitating would make up their minds to buy the plow. When the 3 of them arrived with a few yeoman runners, there was already a sea of people. The villagers who received the news all came to ask how much the plow cost and how it was used. As soon as County Magistrate Cheng arrived, the people immediately made way for him. Seeing the county magistrate walk over with a smile on his face, they all showed respect in their eyes. When they came, they had already heard that this kind of plow was much faster than before, and it was all the county magistrate's idea. They also heard that the county magistrate's hair turned white and he lost weight because of thinking about these things. It took him a lot of energy to make the plow. In the middle of the night, he even went out to check if the plow was good. He was a good official. During the new year, he even gave gifts to the villagers. Thinking of this, some people began to shout, "Good." The others were also affected and shouted, making County Magistrate Cheng's prestige unparalleled. At this time, the head of the department, Zhao Xiang, was also writing a petition in the study. He knew what was going on, but he couldn't write the truth. He could only write according to what everyone said. After writing 2 full pages, he finally understood the situation. Many of them talked about how County Magistrate Cheng was anxious about the spring plowing. After drying the ink, he put the letter into an envelope, stamped it with a lacquer seal, and asked someone to send it away. He sat there in a daze, thinking about the Zhang family's farmstead. He wondered what kind of person was so capable that he could make so many things. Not only did he make a lot of money, but he also knew when to advance and retreat. He gave up all the benefits and made connections with the county magistrate. It seems that I was right to help him back then. Otherwise, this curved plow might not appear again. The food in that small shop in the county tasted pretty good and the price was cheap. I brought my daughter there several times and could eat a lot each time. It seems that they still have some tricks up their sleeves. I heard that the land there is going to be taken back. Since they are willing to give such a big credit to the county magistrate, it means that they have other ways to help Zhuangzi increase his reputation. Zhao Xiang sat there, thinking and muttering to himself. Then, he closed his eyes and hummed a local tune. Compared to the head of the department, Zhao Xiang, who was leisurely, County Magistrate Cheng was much more tired. With him around, more and more people came to buy the plow. All the people who came over had to greet him, and he also had to reply. After a while, he was thirsty from talking and drinking a bowl of tea didn't make him feel better. Shihu, this time, not only did you make money, when the higher-ups give you a reward, you will also get a share. If you didn't arrange for people to make so many plows, the people wouldn't be able to use the new plow. Don't slack off these 2 days. Make more. It would be best if all the villagers in the county can use the new plow. County Magistrate Cheng looked at Zhou Shihu, who was standing there with a face full of smiles. He walked over and said earnestly, "Uncle Cheng is right. Shihu will definitely ask people to make more of these plows so that all the villagers in the county can enjoy the benefits." Zhou Shihu also expressed his attitude. In fact, he was thinking that with so many plows sold, the money won't be small. Once the 200,000 words count is reached, I will come down immediately. I am prepared, but everyone must continue to vote. There is also a recommendation list. Thank you. Chapter 80. Time flew by quickly. 6 days had passed since the spring equinox, but there was still no reward. Not even a sentence had been delivered, let alone a physical object. Bureaucracy, this is bureaucracy. Everyone knows that the plow is useful, but they are entangled with it for their own benefits. I heard that in the other counties of this prefecture, people started to make curved plows in less than 2 days after County Magistrate Chang sent in the memorials. This means that they got the job done, but left the benefits to be shared equally. Wang Wan sat on a stool and rested her chin on her hands as she complained to Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao also knew about this matter, but he didn't care. His face was calm, and he was more concerned about the fact that there wasn't even a single rain these days. The small amount of water that rose when the snow melted had receded. Based on this, even if they built between the clouds and the water on the other side of the river this year, it would be useless. When the water dried up, where would they go to enjoy the fun? Xiaobao, think of a way. If the people in the prefecture take the credit and only give County Magistrate Cheng a little, won't we have no credit at all? Wang Wan nudged Zhang Xiaobao. Okay, think of a way. This kind of thing is actually not that difficult. Ask Erniu to come here. Zhang Xiaobao saw that Wang Wan wanted him to solve this problem, so he had to put the matter of the restaurant aside for the time being. Erniu led 2 people. After a few days of hard work, they finally finished all the stones. Except for the one that Zhang Xiaobao deliberately left behind, there wasn't a single complete stone left. He didn't have anything to do these 2 days, so he helped make the sauce at home. Just as he finished making the sauce base, someone came to find him, saying that the young master had something to do. Erniu didn't dare to delay, so he put down the work in his hands and hurried to Zhuangzi. After being instructed by Zhang Xiaobao, he came out again and disappeared from the sight of the villagers. After dealing with this matter, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan went to Cherry's place. Yesterday, a chicken laid eggs. Today, it seemed that more chickens would lay eggs. The eggs that had just hatched were still small, so they couldn't be used to hatch them. These eggs could be sold for money. Originally, they should be put in the market here, but everyone was busy and didn't have time to go to the market. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan wanted to see if the eggs were really small. If they were really small, they could be temporarily used for other business. Cherry's was now in a separate courtyard, which was full of chicken coops. Cherry's didn't care about trivial matters. The chores were done by other people. Before Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan walked in, they heard a chaotic sound from outside. It was the kind of sound that came after eggs were laid. It seemed that there were many chickens laying eggs today. Standing outside the courtyard, the smell wasn't as strong as imagined, but Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan still frowned at the same time. They felt that this hygiene was a bit difficult to handle. Young master, young lady, why are you here? The smell here is strong. Go back quickly. What if you get smelly? When Cherry's was checking the eggs, a gatekeeper came to report to her that the young master and his wife were here. She quickly put down the work in her hands and came out to persuade Zhang Xiaobao and his wife to go back. It's okay, Cherry's. Did you get the cesspool that I specially asked you to get? Why is there still a little smell? Zhang Xiaobao waved his hand indifferently and asked Cherry's. It's built. It's all built. Well, according to young master's instructions, we wash it with water every day. But the chickens always need to eat, so they have to be discharged. There's no good way. Cherry's also didn't know what to do. With so many chickens, it was a mess to manage. Not to mention the inside of the chicken coops, even when they were outside, there were more than 6,000 chickens. Eating and pooping along the way, there was chicken feces everywhere. Now she didn't know where to put it. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan also began to think of a way. More than 6,000 chickens, normally speaking, wasn't too many. Why was it so difficult to get? Can't we use sand to pave the ground? Wang Wan thought of something first. It can be done, but the problem is where to put them. We can't keep them in the chicken coops all day. Where should we put them? Zhang Xiaobao felt that it was a good choice to pave the ground with sand, but he was worried about where to put them. Wang Wan thought about it again, and her eyes lit up. She said, why don't we put them on the mountain, cut the wings of the chickens, choose a good place on the mountain, and surround it with a fish net. I used to see how they raised stupid chickens like this. It's settled. Cherry's, buy some fish nets in a while and enclose a large area on the mountain. Send the chickens there during the day and bring them back at night. If it doesn't work, just directly build some chicken coops there. Cherry's nodded and noted it down. This was indeed a good idea. Zhang Xiaobao also said at this time, also, go buy some lime and sprinkle some on the mountain every day. This way, the chickens won't get sick easily. Bring a few eggs over and let's see. Cherry's also noted this point down. She turned back and brought a basin with some eggs in it. It's really small. There are at least 11 of these eggs per gene. Good. After 2 days, when we have more eggs, we'll arrange for people to go to the county to see. Wang Wan looked at the small eggs that still had blood on them and nodded with satisfaction. Cherries didn't know what the young lady and young master wanted to do with these eggs. Usually, no one was willing to buy such small eggs. There were so many of them per Jean, and just the shell alone took up a lot of weight. She originally planned to make these small eggs salted and sell them at a cheaper price in the market. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan didn't explain to Cherries. After they finished looking, they went elsewhere. This year, not only did they have to raise chickens, but they also had to let the farmers raise more pigs. The lotus flowers in the pond were planted, and the fish were also put in. They all bought the 3-inch fish. If they were too small, they would be eaten by the ducks and geese. When the pigs were raised, the feces could be used to feed the fish. At the end of the year, the fish would be fished out. After cleaning the bottom would become the fertilizer for the next spring plowing. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan didn't understand the matter of catching pigs, so they had to let the farmers figure it out by themselves. When they needed money, the owners would pay first. When they killed the pigs and sold them for money during the new year, in addition to the owner's capital, they would also pay some interest. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan didn't refuse, but they lowered the interest very low. When the two of them passed by the small river in front of the courtyard, they found that the water level had dropped again. This time, the two of them became nervous and didn't have time to think about anything else. They found people to continue digging the pond, and even destroyed a piece of land. A few days later, in the county town of Sanshui County, a few women and children appeared on the streets with a small cart. They looked for places with a lot of people and didn't block the shops behind them. They stopped the cart, got the underlings to start a fire, and began to hawk their wares. Jianbing fruit, 2 copper coins for 1 jianbing fruit. Buying soybeans and charcoal. This kind of hawking began to appear in Sanshui County town, and there were so many of them. This made the common people curious. What were these things? It seemed to be food, and the price wasn't expensive. Those who had spare money on them took out their money to buy one to try. The woman first scooped a spoonful of noodle soup and poured it on top of a jianbing fruit. She swept it with a small bamboo slice, and a jianbing fruit came out. Then, she cracked an egg on top, flipped it over, and smeared the chili sauce on top. She put 2 youtiao inside, rolled it up, and wrapped it in a piece of oil paper. Even if it was ready, she could add some more for those who were willing to eat chopped green onions and coriander. That person received it in his hand, and it was still warm. He took a bite, and it was crispy, spicy, salty, and sweet. All kinds of flavors were in his mouth. After a while, he finished it, and still wanted more. He asked for another one. Since someone started, the others also bought one to try something new. In the end, all the noodles and eggs on the small cart were sold. Other than money, they also exchanged a lot of charcoal and soybeans. The women were overjoyed. They had actually earned more than 20 copper coins in one day. The charcoal they collected could be used to light the stove when they continued to sell pancakes the next day. As for the soybeans, they had collected enough to send to a warehouse beside the yamen. The rest of the money was theirs. County Magistrate Cheng was also paying attention to this matter today. He casually stopped a person selling jianbing fruit and asked him a few questions. After asking clearly, he let the person go. He then said to the deputy county magistrate beside him, "Zhangjia Zhuangzi has done us a big favor this time. These women usually don't have much work to do at home. Now that they have an additional income, the county's tax revenue will be increased by a lot." Milord is right. The chickens in their farmstead have just laid eggs, and they are all small eggs. It is the most cost-effective to sell them. When the commoners live better lives, there will be fewer troubles. The Zhang family's farmstead has also made a lot of profit this time. To sell pancakes, we have to use that thing called youtiao. If we want youtiao, we have to buy vegetable oil from them. We also have to buy eggs from them. With the harvested soybeans, we have to pay back the money for the carts and pots bit by bit. After we pay back the money, we have to repay the debt. The deputy county magistrate also praised. This ability was not ordinary. It seemed that they had given away the profits, but in fact, they had found a bunch of people to help Zhuangzi earn money. As long as they sold Jianbing fruit and made money, Zhuangzi would also make money. The more people there were, the more money Zhuangzi would make. It's good to make money, and it also helped us solve a lot of problems. This year's tax revenue is much higher than previous years. I don't believe that the higher-ups will be able to take away this credit. As they were talking, County Magistrate Cheng talked about the credit. The people in the province had already spread the manufacturing method of the curved plow to the entire province. They also reported to the higher-ups and returned the 2 official orders sent by Sanshui County to them. They asked them to rewrite them. Although they did not say why they had to rewrite them, the county magistrate and the chief registrar knew that it was to give credit to the higher-ups. The people in the county did not want to give credit. This kind of credit would be gone if they were given credit. Therefore, this matter was delayed, and the higher-ups were not in a hurry. "Milord, don't worry. Those in the imperial court will naturally know. The people in the province can't hide it even if they want to. When the imperial court sends people down, we will tell them." The deputy county magistrate comforted County Magistrate Cheng. He said it casually, but he knew in his heart that this matter was not so simple. Chapter 81. Ku 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 Ku. On a mountain behind Zhongjia Zhuangzi, Cherries and a few people were calling the chickens to come over and eat. Cherries found that since the chickens were moved to the mountain, they needed less food every day. Some of the chickens could find food anywhere on the mountain. What's more, some unlucky insects would be accidentally eaten by the chickens. The chickens grew better than before. Thinking of this, Ying Tao admired the young master and the young lady once again. Even though she had admired them for a long time, she still admired them for saving food. Another thing was that the young master and the young lady actually sold the small eggs at a higher price than the big eggs. They would buy at least 50 jin of eggs each time, which would cost the buyer 12 copper coins more. The most important thing was that people would rush to buy at such a high price. Their ability to make money was really amazing. It seemed that there was nothing in the world that the young master and his wife couldn't do. The more Cherries thought about it, the happier she was, especially now that she was in charge of so many chickens. The young master said that each place would keep the accounts separately. At the end of the year, whoever earned more would get more rewards. The most important thing was not the rewards, but the young master said that whoever got more rewards would be more capable. In the future, the young master could give more important things to this person to do. As long as she worked hard to raise the chickens, the young master and his wife Cuckoo would arrange to sell them. At that time, she would definitely be better than others. Who said that girls were inferior to boys? Parents always praised the younger brother. Let's see who they praised this time. Cherries thought about it and laughed. A girl beside her touched her curiously. "Sister Cherries, what are you laughing at?" I'm laughing. I'm laughing. In the future, when the eggs are ready to be hatched, I'll hatch more and give them to the farmers in Zhuangzi. At that time, every family can live a good life and their children can grow white and fat. Cherries laughed again. Yes, they can live a good life. This is all because of Sister Cherries. The young master is really good at judging people. The people around him have so many things to do and they can do them well. The young master and his wife are really immortals. The girl said again. Don't always mention this. In fact, the young master and his wife also have times when they are worried. But every time they are worried, they can think of a good solution. In fact, we are all taught by the young master. It's the same who is with the young master. Ying Tao glared at the girl and modestly said. This young lady was also from the inner courtyard. If it was an outsider who said such things, Ying Tao would have investigated who leaked the information. The girl stuck out her tongue in fear. Sister Cherries, I swear that I will bury this matter in my heart and won't tell anyone. Without the young master and his wife, our good days will come to an end. We won't be able to find a master who is so good to us. Hurry up and feed the chickens. These chickens eat so much all day. When the time comes, we can kill them to eat. I heard the young master and his wife say that when we have more money, we will build a school so that the 2 children in Zhuangzi can read and write. Cherries poured down half a bucket of feed and thought about the future in Zhuangzi. The girl also nodded, yes, it's very good now. They found 2 doctors who stayed in Zhuangzi. One specializes in treating people, and the other is in treating livestock. The day before yesterday, I felt a little dizzy, so I went there and got a prescription. When I came back, I drank it. I didn't spend a penny. They said it was the young master's money. Everyone in the inner courtyard is like this. The farmers seem to have to spend some money themselves. I heard from the housekeeper that the farmers don't need to spend money in the future, but they have to pay a part of the annual harvest. This part of the money is used to take care of everything. They will treat the sick, bury the dead, and even build houses in the future. Then you have to do things properly in the future. If you really make a mistake, others won't be able to protect you even if they want to. In a while, send these eggs to the warehouse and sell them to those people. Cherry said seriously as he carried the empty bucket back. Today's meal was more or less over. Qizhou, Linyu County. People came and went on the streets. The restaurants and inns were very noisy. On this day, 3 people came here carrying a heavy thing and directly found a blacksmith shop. Shopkeeper, do you still care about carpentry? One of the 3 people asked. Yes, my son specializes in carpentry. Are the 3 of you going to make something? One of the blacksmiths stopped what he was doing and wiped away the sweat on his forehead with his hand and asked with a smile. Yes, make something like this for us. The 3 people said and took out the thing wrapped in cloth and showed it to the blacksmith. Is this a plow? Why have I never seen it before? The blacksmith was puzzled. No wonder the 3 people wanted carpentry. This plow was made of iron and wood. Yes, it is a plow. This plow is called a curved shaft plow. It was made by our Sanshui County magistrate. It works very fast and is several times faster than a normal plow. It is even faster when people pull it than when animals pull it. The plow is also very deep. I have 2 relatives here who bought one in Sanshui County and made another one here. In this way, 1 or 2 of my relatives have one. When I came here, I saw a lot of fields that haven't been plowed. It's too slow. Sanshui County has already done it. Some of them have been plowed twice. Our county magistrate is awesome, right? The man continued talking. When he talked about the county magistrate, he straightened his back and raised his head as if the county magistrate was his father. Really? Which county magistrate is your county magistrate? He cares about this kind of thing? The blacksmith was attracted by the man's words. Thinking that he also had relatives whose fields hadn't been plowed, he thought he could make one for them. How can it be fake? Our county magistrate's surname is Cheng, his name is Ling Xiang, and his courtesy name is Anren. He is a good county magistrate. Let me tell you, in order to let us do the spring plowing well, the county magistrate doesn't eat or drink. The man didn't stop talking about the county magistrate. He started from the auspicious signs and then talked about the county magistrate sending food and oil to the poor people during the new year. Then he talked about the curved shaft plow. He perfected Song Jingong's words and exaggerated them even more. As he talked, more and more people gathered around. The other 2 men who came with him were afraid that some people didn't hear everything, so they went to the side and talked to a group of people. As they talked, they made gestures and pushed the curved shaft plow in front of the crowd to let them have a good look. They also introduced the benefits of the plow over and over again. After the people around remembered it, they handed it to the blacksmith and said that they would come to pick it up at night. It was a total of 60 coins. They paid on the spot. After leaving the plow, the 3 of them each found a restaurant to eat. When they arrived at the restaurant, they joined in the crowd. After a few words, they began to talk about the curved shaft plow and talked about the county magistrate. They also pointed out which blacksmith shop was making it. After eating in the restaurant, they didn't waste any time and went to the tea house to drink tea. They didn't even drink the free tea in the restaurant. They drank the tea from the tea house set up by the roadside. The same words were said by the 3 of them again. However, before night fell, different versions of the story began to appear in Chizhou's Linyu County. Some said that the county magistrate of Sanshui County only came up with the plow after his hair turned white overnight. Some said that the county magistrate of Sanshui County was so thin that he was only skin and bones. He was so touched that he told a story in a dream. The story of the curved shaft plow was also amazing. Some said that a person could pull it faster than 2 oxen. Some said that as long as the plow was put on the ground, it could plow by itself. No matter which one it was, they all connected the plow with County Magistrate Cheng of Sanshui County. When the plow was mentioned, people would think of County Magistrate Cheng. When people talked about County Magistrate Cheng, people would talk about the curved shaft plow. When night fell, the 3 of them came to the blacksmith shop again. The blacksmith was already waiting there. He handed the plow to the 3 of them and watched them walk away. The blacksmith closed the door, pulled his son, and carried his 2 large curved shaft plow to his relative's house. The 3 of them didn't take the curved shaft plow to their relative's house. Instead, they turned around and left for the next county. The blacksmith and his son each sent the 2 plows to their relative's house. They also told their relative what they had heard during the day. When the relative heard it, he couldn't help it. He didn't care that it was already late and took the curved shaft plow to the fields. Some curious neighbors also followed behind. The blacksmith's son pulled at the front while the relative controlled the plow from behind. After walking a few steps, he got used to the plow's speed. The blacksmith's relative was very happy. On the way back, he asked people to send food and wine to his house. He said that he wanted to have a good drink with the blacksmith. The neighbors couldn't stay still. They wanted to share what they had seen with everyone they knew. Early the next morning, people who heard the news came to the blacksmith's relative's house. When they heard that they had gone to the fields early in the morning, they hurriedly went to the fields. When they arrived, they saw that there were already many people watching. There were even people who exclaimed from time to time. Just like this, a few days later, people in the counties around Sanshui County knew that there was a new type of plow called the curved shaft plow. They also knew that this plow was made by County Magistrate Cheng of Sanshui County. Many of the farmers in the counties who had late spring plowing began to make this type of plow. When the county magistrates of the counties saw that this plow had such a great effect, they also paid attention to it. Many memorials were sent to their superiors. When the people in the counties saw that this plow didn't belong to their county, they didn't want to fight for the credit. They also reported this situation to the capital. The officials of Feng County originally wanted to drag it out with County Magistrate Cheng until he couldn't hold on any longer and gave up the credit. They didn't expect that this matter would suddenly spread to the capital's land administration and the Ministry of Works. The officials of the 2 ministries even told each other, causing all the departments to know about this big matter. Chapter 82. The people of Feng Prefecture hated the people of the surrounding prefectures to the bone. They thought to themselves, "Why are you so troublesome? It's fine if you use the curved plow and submit a memorial, but don't say a lot of good things about the county magistrate of Sanshui County in your memorial. You even mention the auspicious signs and the gifts to the people of the county." When the auspicious signs were mentioned in Feng Prefecture, they only mentioned the auspicious signs of the prefecture, but the gifts on New Year's Eve were not mentioned at all. Now, the report from the higher-ups had already been sent to the prefecture. The wording was not harsh at all, but it was constantly scolding from all aspects. Why didn't Feng Prefecture report this kind of thing and let other prefectures report it? It was because the wording was not harsh that the people in the prefecture were afraid. If the wording was harsh, it meant that the higher-ups had a close relationship with you. This kind of bland questioning was the most frightening. If one did not do well, it was easy to lose one's position, or even be locked in prison to suffer. While everyone was busy with the spring plowing, the people in the prefecture were discussing how to deal with this matter. No one dared to continue suppressing the credit of the county magistrate of Sanshui County. In desperation, everyone discussed a solution. The sky was gloomy, as if it could fall at any time. The wind also cheered. At this time, the villagers in various places looked up at the sky, waiting for the rain to fall. The people of Sanshui County were the same. However, the sky was gloomy for a few hours, and in the afternoon, the clouds disappeared and the wind stopped. When all the villagers saw this situation, their hearts sank. Today was the grain rain, which should be the time to sow seeds. If it didn't rain, who would dare to sow seeds? Especially some old people who knew how to look at the sky. Their eyes were full of panic. It's over, there won't be rain for a few days. County Magistrate Cheng of Sanshui County was also sitting in the yamen, staring blankly at the sky. After a while, he turned his head and asked the person beside him, "Little Luo Shui, how's the water?" This time, he finally called the person by his full name. "Sir, the water is very shallow. It hasn't rained for a few days, and the melted snow has already flowed away." The person beside him answered carefully, "It's over, hurry. Immediately send people to this official. This official wants to dig a well." County Magistrate Cheng trembled as he stood up. He anxiously called for all the people in the yamen to come over and arrange for them to dig the well according to the surrounding areas. However, he was also worried that there would not be enough manpower as everyone was waiting to sow the seeds. After everyone left, County Magistrate Cheng stood alone at the entrance of the yamen. From time to time, commoners would pass by and greet him. He was not in the mood to respond to them one by one. The commoners seemed to be able to understand the difficulty of the county magistrate. It had not rained for the past few days, even when it was Guyu. Furthermore, it seemed that there would not be any rain for the next few days. In the evening, there was good news. However, this news was nothing to be happy about for County Magistrate Cheng. The people from the state sent a token, which meant that they recognized his contribution and would report it to the imperial court. However, the reason why the state didn't report it before was because he didn't want people from the state to report it. "Sir, you don't have to share your credit with others anymore," said the deputy district magistrate. He wanted to cheer the district magistrate up. "Merit, merit, what merit is there left? If this drought is not handled properly, I will be at fault. Have all the people I sent returned? How is the situation?" County Magistrate Cheng was listless. He sat on the chair and leaned his entire body against the back of the chair. Even so, he was still slipping down. "Most of the people have returned. Chiang village is experiencing drought and the villagers are fighting for water. A few of them are injured and the water they snatched is barely enough to sow the grains. However, if it still doesn't rain in a few days, we will have to think of other solutions. Shiha village is still all right. There is still some water in the river that can last for half a month. Now, they have blocked the river. However, Dongha village is finished." But news after news came out from the deputy district magistrate's mouth. Usually, there was no water. When it was not used, there was always water. However, when it was used, they realized that there was not enough water at all. The places that had water could not last for long. "Is there no good news? All of them are like this?" "Yes, there is one place that I haven't mentioned. Zhongjia Zhuangzi over at Tuqiao village. How is he doing over there?" County Magistrate Cheng suddenly remembered that the people over there had not returned yet. "Sir, there is a river over there. However, that river is formed by the convergence of 4 small rivers. 3 of the rivers are not enough for the village and they have diverted the river water away. The remaining river is usually waist deep and is completely useless. The main thing is that it has been like this for the past few years. It looks like a drought, but in fact, it will rain continuously before and after the grain rain. The people and we are all used to it." The deputy district magistrate sighed. Zhongjia Zhuangzi had given the yamen too many surprises. However, this time, no one could escape. "Reporting, sir, I am back. I am back from Zhongjia Zhuangzi." Just as the deputy district magistrate finished speaking, a voice came from outside the door. Following that, a person ran in. Looking at his travel-worn appearance, one could tell that he had rushed all the way. This person was carrying a large bag on his back. He didn't look heavy, but when he entered the courtyard and stopped, he couldn't say a word. He just stood there, panting. If you're back, then so be it. Find a place to rest. What are you carrying? Asking for things from Zhongjia Zhuangzi again? It's fine if you want it during normal times, but they are also suffering from drought now. How can you? County Magistrate Cheng was so angry that he couldn't finish his sentence. Your Excellency, we didn't take it. It's the things that they, Zhuangzi brought back to Your Excellency's yamen. Good stuff. Wood ears. 10 caddies. Dry. The yamen runner stammered. What? 10 caddies of dried wood ear. How dare you accept such a valuable thing? The drought is so bad. These wood ears can be exchanged for a lot of money. Digging a well requires money. Buying food from outside also requires money. Send them back. We can't accept these things. County Magistrate Cheng and Deputy District Magistrate were shocked. Where did Zhongjia Zhuangzi get so many dried wood ears? The yamen runner was still panting. He was anxious. In the end, he picked up the bowl of tea from the county magistrate's table and drank the tea in one gulp. He wiped his mouth and finally felt comfortable. He opened the bag and said, Your Excellency, these wood ears were planted by them. They said that they would bring them back to share with the people in the yamen. Originally, they wanted to give 20 caddies, but I didn't dare to accept it. I only brought back 10 caddies. After they are brewed, the people in the yamen will be able to share some and eat fresh. Planted? Wood ears can be planted? The county magistrate and deputy district magistrate were shocked again. They even stood up from their chairs. Both of them did not know how to locate Zhongjia Zhuangzi. Cucumbers could be grown in the winter. There was vegetable oil. They bought carrots that others did not want and made a lot of money. They also found a very simple method of turning brown sugar into white sugar and made chili sauce. A few days ago, they had a curved shaft plow. Now, they could even plant wood ears. Was there anything in this world that they could not do? Well, since they can plant wood ears, they have made a fortune again. Even if there is a drought, they are not afraid. How about his side? Did he not plant anything? County Magistrate Cheng was relieved. Wood ears were precious. If they wanted to eat them, they could go to the mountains or some trees to find them. They could also be found at the place where firewood was transported. This was money. Your Excellency, they have all been planted. Zhongjia Zhuangzi, Wang Zhuangzi and Gu Zhuangzi have all been planted. The Gu Zhuangzi borrowed water from the Zhang and Wang Zhuangzi. They have all been planted? Borrowed water? If the Gu family does not have water in Zhuangzi, could it be that the Zhang and Wang Zhuangzi have water? The county magistrate felt a little dizzy. At this time, the Zhang and Wang Zhuangzi did not have water. Even if they had water, how could they lend it to others? He suspected that the yamen runner was lying, so his face darkened. It's true, my lord. This lowly one doesn't dare to lie. You don't know, but the Zhang and Wang family's farmstead have dug 6 large ponds, and they are all filled with water. There are still some small streams in the small river, and they are all led to the 6 ponds. When this lowly one arrived, there were already 7 wells there, and 3 more were being dug. The Gu family's manor had just been dug up. The well water was sweet and cold. It was delicious. When I got there, I drank 3 big bowls in one go, and the horse I was riding also drank it. The horse drank it too. Okay, stop talking nonsense. You said that there are 6 ponds full of water in Zhongjia Zhuangzi? And there are 7 wells that have already been dug? County Magistrate Cheng interrupted the yamen runner's useless words and found the key point to ask again. That's right, my lord. This lowly one saw it with his own eyes. There were even children from 3 farmsteads playing in the pond. There were more than 1,000 ducks and geese swimming in the pond. There were even people carrying water up the mountain. This lowly one even helped. There were more than 6,000 chickens laying eggs on the mountain, and the farmsteads even caught pigs. Other than that, I also saw grains moved from other places. Because they needed land during the spring plowing season, they moved the grains to the 2 main families of Zhuangzi. There were open spaces there, and each one was like a mountain. That was why I dared to bring back 10 catties of wood ear. I know that they are not poor. The Yamen runner's eyes lit up when he talked about Zhongjia Zhuangzi. He explained everything from the beginning to the end of the Zhuangzi and pointed to the 10 catties of wood ear. County Magistrate Cheng and Deputy County Magistrate Zhang Mingxing sat back in their chairs. To be exact, they fell back. 2 pairs of eyes stared straight at the wood ear. Suddenly, they said at the same time, "If I had known, I would have brought back 20 catties of wood ear. Your Excellency, if you really want it, I will go again. I am not afraid of being tired. I will change to another horse." The Yamen runner was also an honest person. He turned to leave after saying that. "Stop, are you crazy from being poor? Do you have any shame? They gave it to you. What are you doing asking for it? This Zhongjia Zhuangzi is evil. They raised so many things. They dug 6 big ponds and 7 wells in advance. No wonder the Gu family wanted to borrow water from them. Gu Yingxi is considered to have a good neighbor." A few days ago, he was playing tricks behind their backs. In the end, he did not do anything to them. The people of Zhongjia Zhuangzi knew about it and they even lent water to Gu family. If he becomes an official, he will be a good official who brings good fortune to the people. County Magistrate Cheng stopped the Yamen runner and evaluated him. "Your Excellency is also a good official," the Deputy County Magistrate said. Chapter 83. Many people were unprepared for the drought. In Sanshui County, only a few villages were still holding on. These villages were all next to larger tributary rivers. The only one that survived without being next to a large tributary river was Tuqiao village. "It's really a drought. I don't know what I'm feeling at this time. I don't want a drought or locusts. That way, the people can live a better life. But I hope that the drought and locusts will be more serious. That way, the chickens, ducks, and geese we raise at home will be put to good use. We can also send the prepared food over. Your family's Baihu village can be saved, or even improved. Don't you think it's very contradictory? I mainly can't bear to see people fleeing with their families. That right, Prime Minister, you mentioned, he cured the locusts in the end, right? Then are the animals we raise still useful?" Wang Wan stood by the river and said to Zhang Xiaobao next to her. The river in front of them had long run out of water. It couldn't be said that there was no water. There were locusts swimming back and forth in the river. The whole river was full of puddles. Never study human nature. Just do as you think. Otherwise, you will find that in the end, you will only feel that life is meaningless. Then you will commit suicide. If suicide is successful, then there will be no future. If suicide is not successful, then you will be like me, no longer studying. The meaning of life is to choose. Only those who have the opportunity to choose are happy people. Zhang Xiaobao pulled the slingshot in his hand and released it. A locust fish was knocked over. Its body twisted a few times and then stopped moving. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's slingshots were made by others. After it was done, they used a lot of strength to rework it based on the principle of leverage. The power was much stronger. Look, the loach is dead, and the other loaches around it can't do anything. I don't know if they would have saved their own kind when they found out they were in danger. After all, I'm not a loach. But I know that this loach told its companions before it died. Otherwise, the other loaches wouldn't have tried so hard to burrow into the ground. We are actually equivalent to a loach, but we are also higher than a loach. At the very least, we are giving water to the Zhuangzi of the Gu family. At the very least, you can sacrifice yourself when you make the choice and live up to your title. At the very least, I can risk my life in exchange. When I made the choice, I didn't think much. I made the choice, so I feel that I am lucky. So today, I'm still making a choice. I've chosen my family. So, let the drought come, let the locusts come. I'm ready. For my family, for my family. Why do I feel like what you said today doesn't sound like you? You should always maintain that kind of calmness. Even when exchanging hostages, you still have a smile on your face. Wang Wan tilted her head and looked at Zhang Xiaobao. Is it the truth, or a lie? Let's listen to the lie first. Wang Wan smiled. I want to comfort you and tell you not to think so much, so I'm going to argue more. What about the truth? I'm the same as you. I'm also conflicted. I'm waiting for others to be sad so that I can find an opportunity. This is the determination I made when I came here and heard Grandpa's words. I'm also struggling. Is the happiness of a few people more important, or the happiness of hundreds of thousands or even millions of people more important? But one person is also one of these people. Dictatorship or truth? Bruno was burned to death. When Zhang Xiaobao said these words, his brows were constantly frowning. Wang Wan was also thinking about this kind of too profound thing. Little Gongzi, I caught a fish. I'll make soup for you. At this time, a child who was playing in the water ran over. He tried to hold a fish with both hands. The fish was still swaying, trying to break free. Thank you. Zhang Xiaobao opened his eyes and looked at the child in front of him who was 6 or 7 years older than him. Little Gongzi, what did you say? The child was stunned for a moment. He put the fish on a straw stick by the shore and put it on the ground. Nothing. You go and play. Zhang Xiaobao smiled. Okay, I'm going to play. Little Gongzi, this fish has a lot of bones. You and Cuckoo have to be careful when you eat. The child ran to the pond again and turned back to tell the fish had a lot of bones. I understand. I'll be good to whoever is good to me. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan said in unison. You don't need to say any more. I know all these, but I can't do that. How can I deliberately hurt people who are good to me? In the courtyard of the Gu family's main house in Zhuangzi, Gu Ringshi said to the housekeeper who was persuading him. Housekeeper Gu found that the rice of the Zhang family and the Wang family was not inserted into the ground. Instead, they were casually thrown into the ground. He felt that if he planted them like this, the harvest would be poor, so he asked the head of the family, Gu Ringshi, to report it to the yamen. At first, Gu Ringshi tried to persuade the housekeeper, but in the end, he became impatient and said what he thought. Yes, the other party gave him the water. Last time, he tried to hurt the other party but failed. County Magistrate Cheng had a good relationship with the Zhang family, so how could the other party not know? But at the critical moment, before he could say anything, the other party said, It's just water. Take it and use it. The other party said it casually and gave him the water casually, but Gu Ringshi knew that the other party didn't give him water, but a life. At this time, he didn't want to make trouble for the other party. Even if he wanted to, he didn't dare to. If the villagers of Gujia village knew about this, what would the consequences be? Master, I think this is the last chance. If you miss it this time, you won't have another chance in the future. Those two Zhuangzi are evil. It's not impossible to make a Zhuangzi good, but it won't be so fast. How long has it been? Look at the life on Zhuangzi, it seems to change every day. I'm guessing that there must be a monstrous expert behind them. If we don't act now, our manor will be finished. Old master, think about it carefully, don't you agree? The steward was still trying to persuade him. Bull*T, what future? If they want to destroy Gujia village, do they need a future? It's fine as long as the water is cut off. Do you dare to steal the water? They have already put the water into the pond, but the river doesn't flow past Zhuangzi. It flows directly into the river under the bridge. Tell me, do you dare to bring people to steal the water? If you dare, I will go to the prefecture and report him. Tell me, do you dare? Gu Ringshi stared into housekeeper Ji's eyes and asked. Master, I don't dare. He has 2 people from Zhuangzi. We only have 1 Zhuangzi. We are much worse. Housekeeper Gu shook his head. Then I will find you some people who are similar to them. Do you dare? Gu Ringshi asked again. Housekeeper Gu shook his head again. This time, he shook his head even more. I don't dare. We can't beat those two people from Zhuangzi. Those villagers have long worshipped the master like a god. Our people's hearts are about to fall apart. Not to mention other things, as long as those villagers wear the same clothes as the 15th day of the first month and stand there, our villagers won't dare to take a step forward. That's right. Those two people from Zhuangzi are on the same boat. On the 15th day, the master made so many torches. Didn't they say that they want to light up the night sky? The county magistrate is one of their people and the villagers are loyal. You want me to report him? Am I looking for death? Do you think you can just go to the prefecture? What kind of person is Zhou Shihu? His uncle is a 6th-rank official in the prefecture. He helps the provincial governor deal with things. I don't understand. Why do you have to treat him as an opponent? Why do you want him to collapse? You were the one who came up with the idea last time. What happened in the end? Now that you know there is a master in charge, don't find trouble with him. Gu Yingxi really had no other choice. He could only use this method to dispel the housekeeper's jealousy. He already felt that the other party had never treated him as an opponent. They were not even on the same level. Not to mention other things, just look at Sigo in the past and look at the current Sigo. He really chose people accurately. He didn't find anything good about Sigo in the past. He sold him for 1 tael of silver. Now, even if he had 1,000 taels of silver, he still wouldn't be able to buy him back. He wanted to buy people, but the other party changed his heart. He gave away 100 taels of silver just like that. Gu Yingxi didn't dare to think about it anymore. He said to the housekeeper, "Let's go. Come with me." "Master, where are you going?" the housekeeper asked doubtfully. "Where else can I go? Of course, I am going to the Wang family's Zhuangzi. Put away your little thoughts. If it wasn't for the fact that several generations of your family have been the housekeepers of Zhuangzi, I would really suspect that you want to destroy Zhuangzi. Look at the housekeepers of the Zhang family and Wang family. Look at the people in the inner courtyard." Gu Yingxi didn't dare to compare anymore. The Zhuangzi couldn't be compared to the other party. The housekeeper was also the same. He, as the master of the house, was not much better. Housekeeper Gu was also afraid now. He was afraid that if he was kicked out by the master, not only would he lose his position, but he would also be angered to death by his father. "Then master, what are we going to do?" "Nothing. We can just chat. I remember that last time, they asked me to set up the market together. Today we will go and take a look. If they still agree, then the Gu family will also be part of it. I just realized that as long as we follow them, there will be no problems. Those 6 ponds were built before the drought. Also, the wells were dug long ago. I am now wondering if the person behind those 2 Zhuangzi is Zhuge Zai Shi." Gu Yingxi said helplessly as he stood up and walked out. The two of them crossed the bridge and arrived at the Wang family's Zhuangzi. Housekeeper Wang appeared again as if he knew they were coming. "Village Mayor Gu, Housekeeper Gu, the 2 of you are here. Did something happen to the water?" Housekeeper Wang asked sincerely. "No, I am asking if the market can still be added to it." Housekeeper Gu said. "This can't be, but there is another market that can be operated jointly with the Gu family." Housekeeper Wang first refused, then changed the topic and proposed a new matter. Chapter 84. Gu Yingxi and Steward Gu were shocked when they heard Steward Wang's words. They thought that they would never get another chance. Who knew that Steward Wang would say that there were other aspects? What aspects? Steward Gu asked anxiously. This made Gu Yingxi disappointed once again. There was no comparison between 2 housekeepers. Housekeeper Wang didn't seem to be like this in the past. Why did he seem to have become a different person in just a few months? Gu Yingxi did not know that this was because of economic power. Back then, the Zhang family, Wang family, and Gu family were about the same, so they all stood in the same position. Now, it was different. Zhang family and Wang family were rich, so of course, their attitude would change. Steward Wang did not care about the Gu family's urgent question. He slowly said, "There is a river between our two families. The downstream of the river suddenly becomes flat. The main family of Zhang family and Wang family wants to build a restaurant there. It will have 2 floors and it will be empty inside, so you can see the water. We will find some people to drink and write poems there. If the Gu family is interested in joining, then pay a share. When the time comes, we will earn a share. It is just right that there is a drought now, so it will be easier to build a restaurant. What if we lose money?" Steward Gu was straightforward. Without waiting for Steward Wang to speak, Gu Ringshi said, "Of course we will lose money together. Steward Wang, I don't know when the restaurant will be built. When the time comes, you must include my share." Gu Ringshi finally did not dare to go against Zhang family and Wang family. Now that there was an opportunity, he felt that even if he did not make money or even lost a little, it would be worth it if he could build a relationship with the two Zhuangzi. "Okay, don't worry. When the spring plowing is over, when the construction starts, we will not leave the Gu family behind. After all, it is safer for the 3 families to work together." Steward Wang's answer was very appropriate. After that, he saw that the 2 people had no intention of leaving, so he continued to invite them. "Village Mayor Gu, Steward Gu, why don't you go to the pond over there to take a look? I don't know how long this drought will last." "That's good." Gu Ingshi agreed without even thinking about it. He really wanted to go and take a look. After all, the water from the Zhang family and Wang family was carried in large wooden buckets or jars. He would be worried if he didn't take a look. It would be best if the buckets were always full. That way, even if there was still a drought in summer and autumn, he wouldn't have to worry. The 3 of them walked towards a pond. Along the way, they saw Gu family's Zhuangzi farmers transporting water. Not only water for watering the fields, but also water for cooking. The well in Gu family's Zhuangzi had not been dug yet. Standing beside a pond, Gu Ringshi finally felt relieved. The pond was still full. Although there was less water in the river, it was still flowing. When there was no more water, they would have to rely on the well water. After chatting for a while, Gu Ringshi said goodbye to Steward Gu and left. He had put down his worries. This time, there was a partnership. He thought that if anything happened in the future, the Zhang family and the Wang family would think about him. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were still standing by the river and watching the farmers busying themselves. The 2 of them realized that the number of loach fish in the river was extraordinary. If there were only 1 or 2 loach fish, it would be fine. But with so many loach fish, if they didn't catch them to eat, they would probably die in the mud. It was really a pity. How do we catch them? Wang Wan looked eager to try. Let others help catch them. Watch me. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the children playing in the pond and shouted loudly, "Come over here. It's time to catch loach." A child's voice had a strong penetrating power. As soon as he shouted, those children climbed out of the pond one after another and ran over. "Help me catch loach. I'll use tofu in exchange. 10 loach for 1 big piece of tofu. When we get home, you can eat loach drill tofu. Catch 20 loach and I'll exchange it for 1 tael of vegetable oil. Now, everything is ready. Do you want to do it?" At this time, Zhang Xiaobao abandoned his identity as a young master and started to discuss with the children. The children originally had nothing to do, so they all went to play in the water. When they heard that they could exchange for so many things, one by one, they all jumped into the river. They didn't care that the mud was already up to their calves. One by one, they grabbed the mud and threw it out one by one. Those who threw it counted by themselves. At this time, no one lied and cheated. From time to time, a child would jump out of the mud, shouting as he used his hands to slap his leg. There was a leech biting on his leg, and after a few slaps, the leech would shrink out of the person's body and curl up into a ball. Some of the children were very vengeful. They found a small wooden stick and rubbed the leech twice on the ground. Then, they used the stick to poke the leech's head. The whole leech would flip from the inside out. Then, they stuck the stick on the shore and let the sun dry it. When it dried, the leech would die. It wouldn't live even if it was put in the water. So this is how they kill leeches. Wang Wan looked at the increasing number of sticks on the shore. She felt that these children were too fierce. She wasn't afraid, but she never did such things. Yes, this is considered slow. In the past, I would catch leeches and put them on the railway. Once the train passed, nothing would be left. If I didn't put the leeches, I would find a nail and put it there. When the train passed, the nail would become Xiao Bao's sword. Zhang Xiaobao recalled the days when he was a vagrant. Back then, he followed the other children and learned many things. Actually, if you sprinkle some salt, the leeches will naturally shrink together. Wang Wan felt that this method of slapping would hurt the children. She wanted Zhang Xiaobao to call someone back to get the salt. Zhang Xiaobao didn't move at all. Even if you bring the salt, they will still use their hands to slap the leeches. It's not that the salt is expensive, but they feel that hitting the leeches with their hands is the most reliable method. This is the attacking consciousness. It can also be placed together with the controlling consciousness. For example, Wang Wan asked, children like to play with guns since young. If they don't have a gun, they will play with it. If they put a gun and a knife together, most children will choose the gun. Guns give them a sense of security and can be used to attack from a distance. It's the same for remote-controlled cars. There are some that have wires, and some that are wireless. Most of them choose the wireless. Even if the wires can be 100 meters long, the wireless control range is 50 meters. This is because the wireless control is more flexible and there are no worries. This is the safest way. And this sense of security is controlled by the person playing with it. They can attack and retreat as they wish. Zhang Xiaobao gave an example. I understand now. For example, when I was in school, the boys liked to play the road and the sea game. They drew two big traps together. The innermost one is the land, the middle one is the sea, and the outer one is the sky. They would play rock, paper, scissors to choose. Many children would choose the sky. The last one they want to choose is the sea. It's like that. I remember the last time we had people patrolling in the middle of the night and lighting up lights. But I feel that it's not enough. When there are more servants in the future, I want to divide them into open sentries, hidden sentries, fixed sentries, and mobile sentries. That way, the whole of Zhuangzi will be safer. Those who sleep better and those who keep watch better. Wang Wan talked about the future security work. At this time, the children were almost done catching. They climbed up one after another and used branches to string up the loaches that everyone had thrown on the shore. They placed them in front of Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. Everyone began to report how many loaches they had caught. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan didn't count them. They directly asked people to go back and get tofu and vegetable oil. With so many loaches, they could make several dishes that could last for 2 to 3 days. After the children exchanged for the items, they happily ran back to their own homes. They put the items away and came back again. This time, they jumped into the water again to eat the loaches and tofu for their own home. Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao also began to walk back. Naturally, there were people helping to carry the loaches. Even if the two of them could carry them, others wouldn't let them. As soon as the two of them entered the courtyard, they saw Song Jinggong, who wasn't supposed to come back today, waiting there. Little young master, it's not good. Someone is buying a lot of soybeans. After I got my share from Zhou Shihu today, I wanted to buy some soybeans. But when I went to a few grain stores, they said that they were all sold out. I didn't believe it and went to take a look. The shop assistant told me that some people came to the store and directly asked how many soybeans there were. As long as there were soybeans, no matter how much they were, they would buy them all. I walked around for half a day and didn't buy a gene of soybeans. Our vegetable oil depends on soybeans. Now, all the soybeans in the county have probably been bought by those people. They are waiting for the next shipment. Then, the price won't be as low as it is now. I think that someone has found out that our vegetable oil is made from soybeans. As soon as Song Jinggong saw Zhang Xiaobao, He said the matter with an anxious expression. Zhang Xiaobao thought for a while and said, "The vegetable oil has a kind of bean smell. If we keep buying soybeans, people will understand. I think these people are targeting us. But we have already stopped selling the vegetable oil. Why did those people only start now? Is it because of the drought? Maybe. They want to stockpile the soybeans and wait for the price of soybeans to rise. Then, they will find us to sell them. That way they will make a lot of money. But I always feel that this matter is not so simple." Intuition. Wang Wan helped to analyze. "What have we done recently? Don't be in a hurry. Let's go back to the house and make a list. Let's see our main income and new output during this period. We will make a judgment when the time comes." Zhang Xiaobao couldn't figure out what those people were thinking. If they want to buy soybeans, then so be it. At most, they won't sell soybean oil. They don't know how to make soybean oil with soybeans. Generally, rapeseed oil is made from frying, and so is meat oil. Song Jinggong went to find a place to rest. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan went back to the house and began to calculate the main source of income during this period. After calculating, they found that there wasn't much difference from before. Then, what was left was the new output. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.